Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. We're back. We're back. Taking a little breather from standard after last week's stream. I can't. My brain is fried. It's not a format that I particularly enjoy, and like the worst of all is just like I hate feeling an obligation to play Magic. This has always been a hobby for me, and I have fun doing what I want to do, and sometimes when you have a pro tour coming up, you feel a little bit of an obligation to play, even if you're not really like feeling like you want to, and it just felt bad for the mental. So instead, I'm just going to stop thinking about standard for a little bit, take a little breather. There's a new set coming out, and that might shake things up. I get to learn a new limited set too when Aether Drift comes out. Come back fresh faced and hopefully ready to grind out those last couple of weeks coming into the PT. But for now, we're just gonna take a breather, go back to fun Magic, things I enjoy doing, and that's Legacy Death and Taxes. We'll see how I'm feeling. I might play Dual Commander next week just because there's a Dual Commander side event in Chicago that I may play. But we'll see how I'm feeling about Legacy. For now, I wanted to do just kind of like a chill talking about the meta now that it's been like a month. While I haven't actually played a lot of Legacy, I'm always watching Legacy. I'm always looking at challenge results, seeing what's going on, seeing people do new, cool, innovative things. And I want to get more reps in, but obviously kind of bogged down by obligations towards this pro tour testing. So I wanted to give my thoughts, talk about the meta, talk about D&D's spot in the meta, and how I think people should be building decks, because that is something that the D&D folks have been tends to get a little lost, start straying from the path a little bit when there isn't a firm hand or two to guide them. So as one of the D&T content creators, I like to sit down and see where everybody's at. So we're gonna talk about the meta and then talk about different colors of D&T, mostly red, white, and Overlord and stuff like that. Just get the general Legacy vibes. I don't know. Legacy feels pretty fine right now, but I know a lot of people are frustrated with it. But people tend to be frustrated with every format. Some people are saying this modern Renaissance. They unbanned all these cards, super cool. And some people already hate new modern, saying just Eldrazi and Breach are super oppressive, blah blah blah. Similar things can be said about Legacy. We banned the stupid bullshit cards, but now it's Nadu and an Eldrazi, blah blah blah. But who knows? Weird that Nadu and Eldrazi aren't even at the top of the decks at the moment, but that's what we'll talk about and see where D&T's at in compared to some of this stuff. So I'm just using Goldfish as a relative temperature check for the format. Obviously, it's not the best meta percentages of everything because there's a bunch of random 5-0s and a bunch of random paper tournaments thrown in here. There's I 2-5'd my local paper. This is not what I wanted to do. I was looking at all of the lists for this Legacy. I wanted to expand recent decks, but I don't know if I can do that. But anyway, so we'll do that. We'll talk about D&T. I don't know what list I'm gonna play. I might just end up playing Black White Overlord because I think that's by far and away the most popular variant right now. For good reason. We'll get to that. But I might just play red white just because red white a little bit underrepresented, and has been underrepresented for a while. People not appreciating the red splash, regardless of its stellar Eternal Weekend performance and all that. Some people are haters, and I get it. But this is more or less the vibes of what I usually see, just scanning Legacy Challenge top 8s primarily. Just general popularity. We do see Moon Stompy and the resurgence of Delver, not really Rogue Delver, Blue Red Delver with exclusively Questing Druid. Blue Black Reanimator is still a reasonably successful deck, but it has like little to no plan B lately. Like the plan B's, this deck is just much worse against Graveyard Hate now, and is really leaning on cards like Brazen Borrower to beat Grafdigger's Cages and Leyline of the Voids, and also I just think people need to be packing more Graveyard Hate than they are, and stop letting these like graveyard decks terrorize the format. And then we get towards like Eldrazi, and Breakfast being the most popular Nadu variant was pretty shocking to me. Oops All Spells is also a deck that's just absolutely terrifying, and definitely keeps me up at night. Being the premier combo deck of the format besides Reanimator. But I think that there's the big lesson to learn here is that like the shape of Graveyard Hate you want right now. You see like Reanimator, Oops All Spells, Breakfast's not really a deck you really wanted Graveyard Hate that much against anyway. And then like, classic red-black Reanimator. And then down here, suddenly we're in like nothing territory, and we get to like Adnaz as like a graveyard deck, right? I would be playing Mini Ley Islands if I were playing Legacy. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting towards. And just like you see all of these decks, especially stuff like Oops All Spells and Breakfast, which have a built-in plan to beat cards like Surgical Extraction and Fairy Macabre, because these are both, generally speaking, main deck Memories Journey decks. I don't know if Breakfast is always lately. This is just like a random 5/1/1 China Legacy Championship list that. But if you go to like a classic like Legacy Challenge list or something, or like Larson, a very good Breakfast player, so probably an easy list to copy paste. I truly don't know. But yeah, you see like a main deck copy of Memories Journey on average, which I guess main deck doesn't really matter in the case of like Surgical Extraction and Fairy Macabre, because those are always sideboard cards. But like, what I'm trying to say is, the Graveyard Hate cards that people traditionally like to play and have played over the past like year, which is like Surgical Extraction, Fairy Macabre, Ghost Vacuum was coming up as a really cool like fair Graveyard Hate card. Unlicensed Hearse in like the Ancient Tomb decks and stuff like that. These cards are all so much worse now because of the premier graveyard strategies. You do just want these, like, you want Haymakers, you want Leyline, you want Grafdigger's Cage. I don't think I would be registering any other piece of Graveyard Hate right now. Explain how this format looks better than current Modern. I don't know, man. It looks like fine. This is just isn't this just like any Legacy format in the past 5 years? Stompy, Delver, Reanimator. I guess Eldrazi is kind of. This is probably an overabundance of Ancient Tomb, huh? Like 20%. That's definitely like a little bit unhealthy. Hopefully, I think the Moonstompy decks are really badly positioned against Delver right now, for what it's worth. So I think there's a very reasonable chance for decks like Delver to take over this meta percentage again. Any control decks? Yeah, we're definitely missing control. It would take probably at least 2 bans to get control back. Like, you could, like, Microspawn and Nadu, probably. There's just, like, not a lot of draw to playing just Uros and shit when you have access to Nadu, and there's not a lot of draw to playing a control deck when Microspawn exists at all. Like, maybe even, like, the One Ring? Like, how is like, Classic Control beating these Moonstompy lists if you're, like, 5-color Leyline Binding, 1 basic island, 1 basic plains against, like, 8 Blood Moons for the One Rings? Control, classic blue control is definitely suffering as an archetype, and I think it would take a lot to bring that back into the spotlight. I've lost my train of thought. Graveyard Hate really important. I was like, D&T is like pretty good right now. We had the early growing pains of D&T being really bad because people were like casting a lot of like dark rituals and stuff, but we see like all of those decks have fallen off pretty hard. I'm kind of surprised to just like not see any Doomsday. I guess when the top of the meta is like this, then Doomsday is not very happy, right? Like, I don't think Doomsday has a particularly good Stompy matchup, bad Delver matchup classically. I don't really know how this matchup goes. I have to imagine the Eldrazi matchup isn't very good with like double Stone Rains, Chalice, Thought Not Seer, and Kozilek's Command. And then Oops All Spells. Magic's probably fine there, because you're a combo deck with Force of Will versus a turbo combo deck. You become a banned Daze guy? What? Daze isn't... Where is Daze being the problem here? Daze is, like, policing these Stompy decks at least a little bit. 20% of the meta versus, like, Daze is also, like, 20% of the meta. Like, I think this is a bad meta to be a Daze banned Daze guy. What happened to Nadu Elves? I don't know. I think it has inherent problems of being a non-blue deck. That, like, it's not a slow combo deck, but it is kind of like a turn 3 non-blue combo deck, which means it has trouble protecting itself from the faster decks, and it has trouble, like, protecting itself from the interaction of the fairer decks. Cradle, good versus the non-turn 2 kill. Yeah, exactly. So it's going to probably struggle a little bit. It's going to struggle a lot with, like, Moon Stompy, especially with, like, the million removal spells and Furies and Shatter Skull Smashings and Broadside Bombardier and stuff. Although, like, specifically, Moon Stompy has a weakness towards just presenting the combo all in one turn, because a lot of Moon Stompy's removal is sorcery speed, but you'd money match for basically every fair deck. I mean, you, Jarvis, would money match for basically every fair deck, but would you money match just, like, the average Nadu Elves player if you were playing, like, Delver or, like, Painter or something? Enough. Daze is the problem, trust. Daze is, like, not even top 5 problems. Similar skilled Nadu Elves player for similar skilled... Yeah, I would say so. Like, traditionally, the Elves decks were pretty good against the Delver decks, right? They're pretty happy to beat up those decks. And Delver kind of wasn't the deck I was thinking of when I said kind of the fair removal plans. Kind of these just, like, shit pile removal decks, like Moon Stompy. That's a lot of numbers and letters. T3HDH6456, thanks for the follow. Appreciated. Where are we going? We're talking about Nadu Elves because of a commenter sidetracked. Honestly, this is the worst format you've ever seen. I missed that, but, like, I don't know. Format seems like kind of fine, kind of not great, but it's... This, I would be stunned if this format was worse than, like, any of the formats we saw in 2024. 2024 was just, like, 40% Dimir Reanimator, the format, since, like, February. Like, how would you possibly say that this format is worse than that? I have no idea if this format is fun or not. Yeah, I have not played it a lot at all, certainly. Companion, yeah, Oko, yeah, we had Snoko Winter, we had Companion format, we had Breach, we had Gyruda, which I guess part of the Companion format. Miniatures around 10%. I feel pre-2024 they were all lower than that, but maybe I'm misremembering. Also, this is only like a month's worth of data. This is like, yeah, this is past 30 days. This format's only been around for like a month, and there hasn't been a lot of reason for people to be iterating on Legacy right now. We haven't had a lot of big Legacy tournaments. We might see the meta shake out a little bit more. Like, I think a lot of people are probably just like copy-pasting pretty good decks and continuing to play them. Metagame, yeah, I mentioned that up top. Is like metagame, Goldfish metagame percentages are kind of like wishy-washy, right? Because there's a lot of just like 5-0 fluff. There's a lot of like random paper tournament 20-person thing fluff. Snoko was more fun than any of this. Well, I mean, that's just subjective, right? I think Oko is probably the least fun Magic card I've ever played against in the history of Magic, but you know, Some people won Eternal Weekends with Oko, and they think that Oko's more fun because of that, and that's fine. Oko is a blight on Magic. Yes, I would agree with that. Lurrus, well, yes, Lurrus is probably the most broken Magic card ever printed. There's a distinct possibility that post nerf Lurrus is the second best Magic card ever printed, only beaten by pre-nerf Lurrus. We need to unban Frog. Weren't you the person that was just talking about banning data? What are these takes? What are these takes? Anyway, let's get back. We're getting off the rails. We're getting off the rails. Point is, we gotta get back. We gotta veer back to D&T here. Let's ban anyone who says they need to unban Frog. Yes, please. I guess I can do that, huh? But no, it's fine. Let's get back on the rails here. I think D&T wants a demonstrable number of graveyard hate cards because of stuff like Reanimator and Oops All Spells in this format. I think you're pretty good against the top decks right now. Or, top decks, speaking in broad strokes, because these metagame percentages are a little bit skewed, but like some of the most popular decks. I think Eldrazi is definitely the boogeyman for you, and I don't think there's a lot of ways to fix that. Outside of, you could splash red if you really want to try to beat the Eldrazi matchup a little bit more. The Overlord decks feel like they're okay against Eldrazi as well. The Eldrazi decks don't have a ton of removal, so if you get to do like the thing where you like play your turn 2 Overlord, turn 2 Felly on their end step, turn 3 Overlord, whatever, attack, flicker it, like get a bunch of Solitude machine gun them down, then like it does provide a lot of board presence and ways to finish the game, giant creature, stuff like that. Things that the traditional black-white version didn't, and ending the game has always been something that D&T has a problem with, reasons that you wanted to play the red splash, stuff like that. So I think there's a pretty reasonable appeal to both Overlord and red-white, trying to solve specifically the Eldrazi matchup. I think Oops All Spells matchup is completely unsalvageable outside of playing a shit pile of Graveyard 8. Your deck just needs to have a bunch of ley lines and cages in order to beat this matchup. You're not really doing much else to beat it. That's just a fact. D&T cannot make a lot of deck building considerations to beat Oops All Spells outside of things you can put into play, preferably on turn 0. But, sometimes turn 1. There is a little bit of an argument that, like, Thalia is okay as a 2-drop because it's probably the best card to play on turn 2 after you've played your hate card on turn 0 or turn 1 in order to, like, continue to bog them down and try to close the game, whereas cards like Spirited Labyrinth's not going to do anything. White Orchid Phantom, similarly positioned. It is just like a Stone Rain thing, while Worse Than Thalia here has a little bit better matchup applicability elsewhere. Because if we look here, Thalia really still ain't cutting it very much, huh? Bad. Medium. Yeah, not great. I guess medium here. Bad. 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 Good. Worse, because these are both Bowmasters decks. Yeah. Versus if we look at, like, Spirited Labyrinth also loses a lot across the board because of the death of Frog, so now you don't really want Spirited Labyrinth anywhere here is the issue. It's, like, obviously okay versus the blue decks, but does not have a lot of, like, other applicability, and isn't even that good against the blue decks anymore. Dimir's probably the best deck. I think it's hard to say what the best deck is. I think all the decks right now are, like, pretty beatable. It hasn't really felt like there's a super oppressive, like, if you're... It's hard to say because the past year has just been, like, if you don't have, like, Reanimate in your deck, then you're probably just not trying to win the tournament. It's very hard to justify any X1 with Bowmaster League. Well, when your deck already has a bunch of X1s, then I don't think, like, losing your Thalia to Bowmaster is that big of a deal because you're so good in so many of the Bowmaster matchups. And, like, the card you're replacing Thalia with is, like, Spirited Labyrinth, which dies, White Orchid Phantom, which sucks in most of your Bowmaster matchups outside of, like, I guess Grixis. Do these Grixis lists usually have the island? I don't think they do, right? Never mind. It's like a more stock list than a random Chinese Legacy Championship. Hey, get down. Land's not even on screen. Yeah, Lands has been dead for the better part of the year. I think Oops is actually very good. Oops, semi-secretly the best deck. I would agree. I think Oops is definitely not respected enough and is extremely good. Metagame is instead defined by what is easily beatable control. Yeah, I guess. That's one way of putting it. People are complaining about Oops in my LGS about memory strain specifically. Yeah, I mean, it is very annoying that this deck is so good against so many ways to try that you would generally try to hate it out. But a lot of people just like don't want to reach for the good cards against Oops. They just want to keep playing like 2 surgical extractions in their Delver deck and pretend that they have a good graveyard matchup when you need to just be casting Grafdigger's Cages and putting ley lines in your deck. And like, you can't just be like, oh, I'll have a main deck Nile Spell Bomb and a sideboard surgical extraction and I'll be good. It'll be fine. Not really how that works. Not anymore, at least. All that is to say, circling back, I guess, again, I think D&D's pretty good against a lot of these decks. Bad versus Eldrazi, bad, but, you know, bad versus Oops, but I think almost every deck is going to be bad versus Oops until you go to your sideboard games. And then you're pretty happy I'd be pretty happy to play against Moonstompy, Delver. Breakfast is a close one. I'd say I feel fairly confident against it, but it's definitely not the easiest matchup in the world. Feel good versus Painter. Decent plus for Sneak and Show. Good versus Delver. Good versus Delver. We're getting into Oops territory. And then we're getting into decks that don't really exist territory. Acolyte was playing with Cabal Therapy, which is something versus Oops. Is Cabal Therapy something versus Oops? Isn't it just like a 50-50 shot? And just like... It's like casting Pithing Needle. It's just like, well, I hope they have the card that I'm about to name in their hand. And, like, I hope that they have the Undercity Informer in their hand. Or the... I guess you'd probably always name Spy in the Blind. I guess, yes, that is the definition of something, yes. I maybe I wanted a little bit more substance than something, but that is not, literally not what you said. Correct. Death and Taxes in Modern is doing stuff. If I had any reason to play Modern, I would. It's the D&T deck in Modern is very cool, and I would absolutely play it. People are telling me it's good, but there's just nothing in my mind that makes me want to play Modern right now. Other than, like, that deck being cool. It's just, like, there's no, like, events. I am already, like, brain drained by Standard for the PT. Maybe after the Pro Tour, I'll play some Modern or something, and like just do like a Modern showcase or something if the deck is cool and I like it. But Modern is just so far away from my brain right now. All that is to say, I don't know. I think D&D is probably pretty good, which is something that I try to not say lightly because, you know, obviously very biased D&T player. I always think D&T is good, but I think D&T looks better than it has for the past year. I think D&T was like not good, not very good during the Grief format. Despite its many results. What do you hate about Modern right now? Just no time or desire. Yeah, there's a Modern RC coming up that I'm not qualified for, and I'm not going to qualify for. It's just it's not a format that I'm really interested in. A lot of the decks don't look fun to play against. I mean, I'd say that being like a legacy diehard with like, yeah, Modern decks don't look fun to play against. Let me just play against Oops All Spells and Reanimator and Eldrazi instead. I'm just like Stockholm Syndrome by Legacy at this point. But it's mostly just like, I like Legacy. I have played Modern a long time ago in the past, but don't feel a lot of desire to, because I'm not a sweaty tournament grinder. Learning in a new format is hard. There's not a lot of like there's nothing coming up in my life. There's no big Modern tournament nearby me that I want to go to, that I like prep for Modern or something. I've been playing Mono White Control Standard, right? I've kind of tossed that deck in the garbage can. I'm probably gonna play Pixie. I'm a sweaty tournament grinder. Fuck. Jarvis, you play like every format. You are definitely a sweaty tournament grinder. You're coming to Chicago to sweaty tournament grind the RPTQs or whatever the fuck they're called. Evening Coin Man, how's it going? Can I just not be sweaty? Alright, that's fine. You're a tournament grinder. You don't have to be sweaty. Would crush it in Modern D&D with limited format. I think I would like be pretty good at it. The deck's probably, the play pattern's probably very similar. I would play it. We will get, I probably will end up playing it. I'm just not gonna think about it until after the Pro Tour at the very least. Maybe next month we can all come into chat and be like, hey XJ, play Modern. Modern's so cool. Play the black-white D&T deck in Modern. But for the next month, no Modern D&T. We don't have time for that. This guy Theo something. Yeah, Theo Jung. Yes. After he won the first challenge, he's like, don't play this deck, it's bad. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then he won the second one. I'm like, damn, maybe it's not bad. But Theo is also like a super cracked player, so who knows. But like a lot of the like old Modern players that I was friends with, Spider Space, Mean Fanny Pack, who like used to be D&T players, but then decided that the deck was very bad in Modern and started playing good decks instead. A lot of them are like looking at D&T or playing D&T actively in Modern. Which makes me think that the deck is actually pretty good. People I trust saying like D&T is actually one of the best decks right now. Anyway, we're all sidetracking me. Hey, what's up, Eureka? How's it going? I came here to talk about Legacy, talk about D&T and Legacy, and we're getting sidetracked by Modern. Which is fair, because we're probably going to talk about what is essentially the same deck, right? It's just Yorion. I think they should unban Yorion in Modern just for the D&T players. You're only allowed to play it if you have like 4 Felias and 4 Overlord of the Bale Mercs and 4 Aether Piles in your deck. Don't say hi to Evil Mike. He just subbed. How could I not? Anyway, let's get back on the rails here. I think this is probably the best meta in the past year for actually playing D&T. I think you want to dodge Eldrazi. I think you want to board respectfully for the graveyard decks, and I think you're pretty good against a bunch of the other stuff. That's the long and the short of it. Which leads me to the top performing deck right now, which is Yoshiwada's black-white Overlord list. I hate White Orchid Phantom. I don't understand why it's in all. I do understand why it's in all the decks, but I'm mad about it because I just think this card sucks a lot. But also, all the other 2-drops also suck. So I get it. It's possible that White Orchid Phantom is the least sucky of them. I would definitely buy that. I did play one league with this list probably like weeks ago at this point. It was like an older version of his list. I think I probably have it. Black-White Overlord D&T Yoshiwada. I played a league with it, and I boarded out all of my White Orchid Phantoms for 5 straight matches. It was just like blue-black. I don't remember all the matchups because it was a million years ago, but it was just like blue-black and Moon Stompy and like Bant Nadu and just all decks that is just, this card is going to be complete horse shit. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Get this back. So this is a slightly updated version of this list. He's got like less White Orchid Phantoms, playing the Boggart Trawler. Not a ton of other updates. What are we doing? What did we cut the last White Orchid Phantom for in this list? Chat, am I blind? Oh, the second Flicker Wisp. There we go. That seems like a good change. Spirit is aight. I think Spirit's probably pretty bad. I just don't really want to register Spirit versus any of this. Really any of this besides, like, Sneak. Even for Sneak, it's not that good anymore because they don't Grizzle Brand you. They just Atraxa you now. So what did he do? He cut a White Orchid, he put in a Flicker Wisp. Within the context of Red-White. Fair enough, yeah. Red-White's definitely a different beast. We'll talk about that too before we get started. He was playing a... Oh god, what's the stupid... Something Trawler? Trawler. This stupid little goblin go. Why do I keep closing this? Oh, it's broken. Oh, it came back. Yeah. Boggart Trawler. And then I don't really like... His sideboards have updated slowly to be more respectful towards the combo decks, but we're still playing like 2 Fairy Macabre when I think we should just be playing like 4 Cages or just like straight 4 Ley Lines or something like that. Some number of like Deafening Silence, mixture of Deafening Silence and Mind Break Traps makes sense. I don't really understand the infatuation with sideboard Disruptor Flute in this deck. I get that it's like pretty good against a lot of the combo decks, but is it better enough than like Pithing Needle than that you want it? Because like 2 mana is so much more than 1 mana, but I get that it is a lot better than Pithing Needle for a variety of reasons. Holding it up, and then yeah, you have like a fair number of things. 2 drops with Flash, which accentuates Disruptor Flute's applicability a little bit, but like going back to the Legacy meta, what are we're boarding in Flute here, here, here. That's not bad. But it's like not great versus these decks, right? It's making Micro Spawn cost... You're not bored. I'm not boarding this in versus Eldrazi. That seems like nonsensical. I'm not boarding in bad Meddling Mage without any power or toughness. Against a deck that just never activates abilities outside of like, oh, name Wasteland, get him. Name Ivugan, get him. Name Abstergo fucking Entertainment, huh? Return up to 1 historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Is this literally just instant... Wait, no, what? Historic. Historic is what? Saga, Legend, Artifact? That is the Assassin's Creed place. I'm just trying to think of when this card is better than the Desert. If you're just playing this to exile, I guess it like color fixes you a little bit for your Mycospawn too, but like, are we picking up a Lotus Petal when we activate this and then exiling all graveyards? My thought, this is like a graveyard hate land, right? That's the purpose of this? You tutor it up to try to beat the graveyard decks? Am I missing something? Oh, pick up like the 1 ring would be cool, but this deck doesn't have any of those, so that is odd. Let's find a different list. This is like a weird China list. Maybe this isn't stock, huh? Second place Eldrazi list from a challenge. Okay, this one does not have it. All right, maybe it's just like a weird choice for some reason. Maybe they didn't know that the desert existed. whatever that thing's called. I've played it in the fucking dual commander deck, whatever that stupid land is that can sack and exile a graveyard. Looks a little bit more stock, huh? Are we back to 2 basics in Eldrazi? Is this stock? Can anyone... Scavenger Grounds, that's the one, yeah. Thank you. Can anyone confirm with me that this forest snow-covered waste is stock? Wait, we can just do this, right? We can... It gives me, like, percentages of these lands, right? It'll be... This is in, like, every deck. Alright, it's in, like, half of decks, looks like. Which is not exciting. No one seems to know the desert exists, including me, yeah. If Eldrazi's on the second basic, then, man... This White Orchid Phantom sucks, huh? I mean, like, White Orchid Phantom being a soul land into a normal land is putting them down to mana still, which is kind of nice. But, like, ugh. This card is much better when they were on 1 basic. Alternatively, you could play Abstergo Entertainment. So that's what we were just talking about. Why is Abstergo Entertainment better than Scavenging Grounds? It seems much worse. In your deck that can only buy Lotus Petal or Chalice of the Void back. It just costs 1 more mana, right? Yeah, I mentioned that it filters colors, but like, I don't. Is that worth it? Maybe the extra 1 mana isn't that much because you have to hold up, like, holding up the whole difference between holding up 3 and holding up 4 isn't like that big, and maybe like the extra green source for Mega Spawn sometimes matters more. If there's a deck list for tournament, yeah, you definitely spell Abstergo starts with an A, I think. Abstergo. Lobstergo Entertainment, perfect. Anyway, this is what I did to Yoshiwa's list. Getting back on track. Oh, wait. That's what I was doing. I was checking. I keep getting sidetracked. Only God knows why. He cut a land for the Boggart Trawler. What land did he cut? He cut a fetch for a Boggart Trawler, it looks like. Yeah. We'll try it out. We'll do whatever. We'll try mostly a Yoshiwada list with some sideboard changes because... Oh, we were talking about Disruptor Flute. That's what got us sidetracked by Eldrazi. Is Disruptor Flute that much better than Chalice, or not Chalice, than Pithing Needle in your deck that does not have Ancient 2-minute? Flute is more widely applicable and nicer in a lot of instances because of the ability to hold it up at instant speed. You have the ability... Let's get back to the actual metagame here. You have the ability to, like, hold it up first Moonstompy, and then, like, cast it in response to the Broadside Bombardiers, or the One Ring, or the... I guess not really. Fable's not a very good example. Yeah, mostly just in response to the One Ring, or in response to Broadside Bombardiers. Huh? Which is notable, because you have your Pithing Needle in your hand on turn 1 versus Moonstompy. You just have to run it out in the blind. I'm probably just naming the One Ring. But you're incentivized a lot to run it out if you don't have another 1-drop because they're a Chalice of the Void deck. So you kind of do want to just, like, slam it. Does Moonstompy keep in Chalice for taxes? Sometimes. Hard to say. I'd say usually yes. But not always. Moonstompy players are strange breeds. But if you're boarding in, like, 4-ish cards versus D&T, 5... You're probably cutting... You have to cut some number of either Chalices or Maguses. I'm probably cutting all the Magus before I cut any Chalice. But, like, Blood Moon is a little bit better versus D&T because so many lists are, like, splash lists lately. So not a lot else you would cut. Yeah, maybe Needle being 1 mana is worse versus Moonstompy because it's not a card you want to cast on turn 1. And they're a Chalice of the Void deck. I do think that Flute's definitely better versus Moonstompy. Needles, it's tough because Flute has the extra applicability of being the mana tax. but it's also not a card that you can cast off of 1 mana. So at least with Pithing Needle, you're on the play for your game 2. You have Pithing Needle in your hand. You can like shoot for that 50% chance to win the game, or win the game. 50% chance to continue to play the game. You just fired off an Informer and pray that they kept an Informer hand instead of a Spy hand. But I don't like that plan very much, so it's not great. Breakfast is another nice one, where like the flash matters a lot. You can hold it up. Maybe the flash is good enough. They should just put Pithing Needle with flash, huh? Maybe I'm underrating Flute having flash in your deck that also has Orcish Bowmasters and Felia. Maybe we'll keep playing Flute. I'm just gonna play like almost the exact same list that I played like 2 weeks ago. I might. I kind of like the sideboard. I've also been thinking about if I just want to cut Containment Priest from the deck entirely. How do I value Emperor of Bones? I think Emperor of Bones has gotten a lot worse in the current meta, but still probably like pretty good. It's a little bit worse. I like it. It has like a cool, has a lot of synergies with like Felia Overlord, but this deck can't support too many black spells because part of the power of Overlord especially is like the like Solitude Machine Gun. So if you play like 4 Bowmaster, 4 Emperor, 4 Overlord, then you're like starting to really cut into your black cards. I think this is probably what we'll play tonight. Something like this. I like Mindbreak Trap decent enough because it's nice bullshit insurance right now, and there's a fair amount of bullshit floating around still. It plays nicely with like you don't have to like go turn 0 Leyline, turn 1 Deafening Silence versus Oops, and then you just get Force of Vigor into the next week. It's just an extra layer of insurance that like gets to sit in your hand. It's nice that it's turn 0 Hate versus Oops specifically, which the deck that loves to turn 1 you. So I think I'm a little bit higher on Mindbreak Trap than Deafening Silence right now, but I don't feel super strongly about that because I think both of these cards are pretty bad versus a lot of stuff, and they won't come in very often. But Mindbreak Trap I think is a little bit better versus Oops in my opinion, but maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't have enough. I haven't like jammed the Oops matchup a bunch lately, and like I know if Mindbreak Trap's particularly useful there versus just having Deafening Silence. Hey, Harain, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. I think Wrath of the Skies makes sense over Split Up. I think you're kind of largely trying to dodge Eldrazi, and Wrath of the Skies looks better versus a lot of the Nadu decks and the Saga decks and stuff like that. You can probably play... Also, I think you're kind of hoping that Overlord carries you versus Eldrazi. I'm not playing Standard? Yes. I decided that if I played another match of Standard, then I would have to do things that I probably shouldn't say on live on Twitch TV. So we're talking about Legacy instead, because I want to talk about things that I'm having fun with. Which is, I guess, Legacy in theory, because I haven't actually played Legacy in a while either. Imagine they just keep their hand hate because they don't need more. Yeah, but you're like, that's the thing about having Leyline of the Void plus trap, right? Is that they can't just keep like, oh, I've turned 1 Thoughtseize, I'll take the hate card and then kill them or whatever, and you put in Leyline and they die. Whereas if you just have a pile of Leylines and cages and Deafening Silences, and you go turn 0 Leyline, turn 1 cage, Deafening Silence, whatever, and then they just like Force of Vigor you. But not all the Oops lists are on Force of Vigor. Some of them are like the blue Oops lists that are on like Echoing Truths and the fish bounce spell, whatever the fuck that thing's called, into the Flood Maw or something. So stuff like that would make Deafening Silence stocks go up. So it does depend a little bit on how much Force of Vigor Oops that you expect specifically. Definitely worth noting, though. Anyway. Wrath better versus stuff that doesn't Eldrazi specifically. How much discussion has gone on so far? Not a lot. I've got sidetracked a lot, as I do every single stream. I was just talking about the meta and how I think D&T is actually like pretty good in the current meta, comparatively to the past year. So I think it's like pretty reasonable to just be playing a deck like this right now. But I guess approximately 46 minutes of discussion about the Legacy meta and stuff overall. Can I talk about how much you hate Stoneforge and D&T? I kind of get it. I should also talk about that. I also really need to pee though right now, so remind me to shit talk Stoneforge Mystic and talk up Pre-Reform War after I get back. I'll be right back. Anyway, D&T, Stoneforge Mystic. So I think Stoneforge Mystic kind of has to still be locked in these decks because of like the 2-drop problem, which is I think D&T's biggest problem right now, which is like you don't actually have good cards to cast on turn 2 mostly. But I do get it, especially in these Overlord lists. It adds a little bit of inconsistency with like milling over your like tutor targets and stuff. But specifically, I think if Pre-Reform War didn't get printed, I think there would be a decent chance I'd be cutting Stoneforge way more aggressively from these lists. But Pre-Reform War is like really, really, really fucked up. I would not be surprised to see like Stoneforge Mystic stop making the cut at some point, but I don't see that happening anytime soon while we're sitting here like scraping the bottom of the barrel for like a playable 2-drop right now. But I do get it. It's definitely not the most impressive card in the world. Did I see the new Planeswalker equipment could be cool with Stoneforge? I think the new Planeswalker equipment is cool. I don't think it's very good within the context of Legacy D&T specifically. It's a card that like I would have been super psyched to put in my deck like 4 years ago, but the control decks are dead. I guess we'll pull it up on screen for those of you that don't know it, haven't seen it yet. Does Scryfall have the new cards yet? Aether Drift previews? Yeah, looks like they got the new cards. There's another 4-drop artifact that draws cards that might be better. Whatever could you mean? Where's this stupid card? Am I blind? Was it below? Were there more cards? Hello, Poogaloo. It's not there, you looked. God. The Aether Spark. Scryfall let me down. We did get it. Thalia, Thalia, Phantasy. Yeah, we spent a large part of the stream talking about how Thalia, Phantom, and Spirited Labyrinth are all not very good cards that I don't want to put in my deck either. And Thalia, honestly, a little bit. This card is unexciting to me specifically because if we go back to the list of like all the legacy decks, this card just like makes your creature a little bit bigger. It's cool that it triggers on any combat damage during your turn, so you don't have to connect with it to like get a bunch of loyalty counters. You just put it on like a 2/2, and then you plus it. The 2/2 becomes a 3/3. You attack with it, and then suddenly your Aether Spark's at 8 loyalty, which is a lot of loyalty. This card, if you're like just attacking with a creature every turn, does generate an obscene amount of loyalty and can be like a pretty fucked up card drawing engine, but I don't see that mattering at all in current Legacy. Like, it's a very slow card drawing engine, right? You cast Divination the turn after you get it into play and connect. And then you look at, like, the list of decks in the format right now and just, like, where do we actually want to put Aether Spark in our deck? And where am I like, I'm going to cast Overlord on turn 2 and be super excited. Just no, definitely no. And it all just ties back into, like, the lack of, like, a true control deck in the format. It gives me sort of Fire and Ice vibes, where it's, like, it's very cool that you can put this thing into play that, like, makes everything you put into play for the rest of the game, like, pretty threatening. But Sword of Fire and Ice has long been not very good in D&T as well. So, we'll see. I'm not going to, like, go out of my way and bully people that put it in their deck, like some other cards that people have maybe tried in D&T in the past. But I don't have high hopes for it at all. It's a very cool card at the very least. I like it. Just, I don't think it's making the cut for me. But I also thought that, like, you know, Phantom Blade was going to be a complete joke. But then I tried it, and I was right, and it was pretty good. So, you know, maybe someone out there will prove me wrong. Anyway. Is this Prelim going to fire? I have to imagine it's not going to fire. I don't have to worry about it. I can just play, like, a League instead, right? Oh, yeah, this Prelim's not fucking firing. We're good. We'll jam a League. Anyway, I think I said my piece on this. I didn't really talk about Felia that much, because I know Acolyte's not very high on Felia, and it's, like, just, like, Quad Wisp in Overlord instead, and I think that's, like, pretty reasonable, but everything just loops back around to D&T's inherent 2-drop problem right now. And just, you don't want to be, like, none of your spells that you're casting on turn 2 are any good. Just, they're all bad. I just don't want any of them in my deck. So probably just means that we want to increase the 2-drop density somewhat. Felia is, I think, often worse than Flicker Wisp. It's worse with Formula than Flicker Wisp. It's harder to enable Overlord than Flicker Wisp is a lot of the time, just because your Flicker effect is, you know, exposed to removal spells and all of a sudden. But, like, Felia having Flash is pretty powerful in some matchups, specifically like Moonstompy and Eldrazi and some of, like, the more removal light matchups. Especially, you know, in tandem with Orcish Bowmasters, in tandem with Sideboard Disruptor Flute, stuff that we talked about. The ability to hold up a variety of different spells in that turn can be definitely a reasonable play. But, like, I get it. I've played a lot with Felia, more than I would like to admit, because I am Felia's #1 hater. The Felia is often not good, and I think a little bit, maybe very overrated, in fact. It often is just like 2 mana die, do nothing, get no value, do not pass go, do not collect $200. I don't know. I think Flicker Wisp is probably better. Does this deck look better if you just, like, do this? Maybe, but it's just, I guess Overlord is a 2-drop, right? So, like, curve looks a little bit better when you put it like this. Maybe this is something you're supposed to do. I like the idea of 4 Flicker Wisp in a world, like, with access to Formalware. Maybe you play the second Formalware, but did a bunch of cutting of the graveyard stuff because of, like, the top decks being... Although, initially I had 2 Formalwares in the pre-ban meta, and then I cut the second Formalware from a lot of my lists because I expected a boom of, like, Nadu and Eldrazi decks that aren't putting anything in your graveyard. But, like, Formalware's really good versus the top 2 decks of the format. So maybe it's time to bring back the second Formalware? Then you have, like, 2 Formalware and you just have a shit pile of Flicker Wisps. Like, you just beat up a bunch of the fair decks like that? Anyway, we'll play this and get more thoughts. Let's briefly touch on red-white. Which, I don't know. People just, like, don't like playing this deck for some reason. I love this deck. This deck is very fun. Johnny Broadside Bombardier is just a very fun series of cards to play, but people just aren't high on it right now. And I guess I kind of get it, especially with, like, the black-white deck in Modern doing so well. I am going to play today eventually, but mostly just a chill stream. I wanted to talk. I said it as much up top at the start of the stream, but, like, it's good to, like, just kind of get my thoughts out into the world every now and again. So hopefully help out some D&T player out there who's been, like, struggling to figure out a list that they're happy with. Just wanted to provide my input as a single D&T streamer. This is, I would probably just, like, fire this off. There's argument to bring back the second form more, like I was just talking about, and, like, probably cut the GT. Nadu's not making as much of a appearance as I would have expected. So, like, we go back to the second formal where probably want to go back up to the fourth blast effect, looking at a bunch of Delver and Breakfast, Nadu, Sneak and Show. Blast is sometimes, it's good, really good versus the blue-black oops variant specifically, because you can blast either, the ways that they usually play around Leyline are get to 6 mana and hardcast Oracle from hand. Let's see if we can find a blue oops list so I can explain. So they, like, a lot of these lists have, not this one, have a sideboard, like, 3 more sideboard 3 more Thoracles, and you just get to 6 mana, and you just play your Balustrade Spire, Undercity Informer, and mill yourself, exile everything, and then just cast Thoracle from hand. And then the other card that they usually play is, like, some number of Echoing Truths or Into the Flood Maws. I just clicked on this exact same list, I don't know why. So Red Elemental Blast is pretty nice. It also can counter Memory's Journey, but this doesn't really come up unless you pair it with, like, Surgical Extraction or Fairy Macabre, I think. Like, it might come up if you have, like, an active Lion Sash, and you're, like, also, you have, like, the ability to eat one thing with Sash and also Reb Memory's Journey. But I would probably like to fit the 4th Red Blast in here, because I do think it's good against a lot. I like this as my graveyard hate right now. You can maybe even go up to 6 and, like, disrespect the other combo decks right now. There's just, like, so much graveyard-based combo very specifically. 4 more for Prelim? Alright, fine. I didn't think the Prelim was going to fire, but maybe we'll fire the Prelim. Or at least we'll try to fire the Prelim, huh? With Yoshiwata's black-white list. Do we have Barrow Goyf in the black-white sideboard? No. Unfortunately, you can't recruit the Goyfs unless you have literally no, or, like, only one card type in the graveyard. Or else it would have been real sick to recruit Pyro Goyf in the red splash. But yeah, I think that's where I would be at with red-white. I think red-white's still really good right now. I think there's, like, a bunch of matchups that I would rather be playing red-white than black-white right now. But, like, I think the draw to black-white is Overlord right now, definitely. And maybe that's better than a Johnny plus Magus. I don't like that there aren't any good 2s in red-white right now. Like, after this, you're just like, I guess I'll put Thalia in my deck, or Spirited Labyrinth, and just, neither of those choices are very exciting at all. So that is definitely a problem, whereas black-white, especially black-white Overlord, has a little bit more abundance of 2-drop options with additions like Bowmaster, Felia, Overlord kind of qualifies as a 2-drop. Emperor of Bones even potentially could show up in some black-white lists, but if I had a Legacy tournament tomorrow, I think I would probably just, I mean, I just feel more comfortable in the driver's seat of a deck like this because I've been playing it for the better part of last year. But once I get back into Legacy, I'll do more fiddling with Overlord stuff. I said as much like when Overlord was starting to be up and coming during like Duskmorn at the start of Duskmorn that like I think there was a lot of untapped potential in this list. I think there was a chance I played it in Eternal Weekend if it was like 3 weeks later, just because so I could have like tested and ironed out the lists more. I think the deck's pretty powerful. Like the interaction between Overlord and your flicker effects is just really really messed up, and does provide that kind of like both like burying amount of card advantage that D&T kind of likes in general, in terms of like you get to make your salted machine gun and kill a bunch of stuff, and also the ability to end the game, just like I've constantly talked about, the ability to actually turn the corner with D&T. Long been a struggle, and the ability to make a giant 5/5. Sag back to leagues. Are people not firing? Wait a little bit. See if get 2 more people. Staff of the Storyteller is a 2-drop. Yeah, but it doesn't do anything. And a Johnny makes tokens. Ideally, you would want your 2-drop to be disruptive in some way. I don't think D&T's in a spot where like you can just play a bunch of 2-drops and none of them do anything to your opponent. Maybe that's not true. Maybe we could just play like another value 2-drop, but then I don't know. Build a list that is just like the old Yorion D&T decks that just main decked a bunch of cards to win every fair matchup and just sideboard a bunch of cards to beat every unfair matchup. Time to bring back Leonid Arbiter. Yeah, maybe when we go back to Mono White, and we can just have Leonid Arbiter and White Orchid Phantom and get them. Your opponent will have a look of confusion and read the card. Is that not disruptive? Yeah. Maybe not quite what we're looking for, huh? I would fire up a league, but I know the second I fire up a league, 2 people would join, and I would have to double queue, and I hate double queuing on stream so much. Tony. Yeah, I mean, I hate double queuing off stream. Double queuing on stream makes me want to cry. Yeah. I also just like hate when my opponent is very clearly double queuing, and I just have to sit there with like 3-minute pauses between my opponent's turns. Just like kind of infuriating. Just like so many like the sweaty moto grinders love to double queue and triple queue. If you ever play against like Sandy Dog, it's just over for your next 50 minutes. Ban cards until Mangara comes back. Please. I miss Mangara. Mangara is one of my favorite cards in D&T ever, I think. Double queuing is disrespect. Yeah. I definitely get it. Double queuing isn't that bad if like they're good at it, I guess. If you don't notice they're double queuing, then it's fine. But so many, just like a waste of your time specifically. Wasn't Mangara the literal birth of D&T? Yeah, Mangara was in like the OG D&T lists. Back when they played like Savannah Lions and made at Cataclysm. I considered playing a new Mangara in Modern once. Down bad, huh? It's the 4-drop, right? Has like lifelink and something about getting attacked. Trying to explain, yeah, trying to explain to someone how Karakas Mangara works definitely feels like you're cheating when they don't understand it. It's like you don't understand. Just accept that this is how the magic works. I'm gonna keep my Mangara, and your thing's still gonna get exiled. Unfortunately for you. One of my least fond Magic playing experiences was playing modern black white Eldrazi taxes at like an FNM, and I was sitting there explaining to my opponent, who is clearly very new to Magic. I can't remember what they were playing, like Soul Sisters or something. I was trying to explain to them why like my Eldrazi Displacer plus Tide Hollow Sculler was just going to exile like every card in their hand. It's like, okay, so it's gonna leave the battlefield and come back. And it's got an ETB trigger on the stack, but I'm gonna flicker it again, and then it's gonna exile. But the second trigger is gonna resolve it. It's gonna exile your card forever. It's just like, I just feel like I'm lying to you. It just feels like it's bullshit, but it's just like, you just gotta trust. And then like, all right, and then I'm gonna flicker respect your thing, and then I'm gonna Wasteland Strangler, putting your exiled thing back into your graveyard. It's not going to come back from the Flicker Wisp. I get that it's still the same card, but it's in a different zone. Just trust me, man. just wholly bad experience for both of us. Kids gotta learn somehow. Yeah, true. Everybody has to have that learning experience at some point in their life, and I'm sure that kid went home and then learned all about Enter the Battlefield triggers. I keep saying Eldrazi were a mistake. It is funny that Eldrazi Displacer and Wasteland Strangler are both criminal parts of that story. It's not damage on the stack or banning. Yeah, ideally, whenever they like change rules and make Magic a little bit more intuitive, like with the new double blocking rule and stuff. I never got to play that version of D&T, unfortunately. Maybe that kid quit. Maybe. I really liked Black White Eldrazi Tax. Was really Wasteland Strangler is maybe my favorite Magic card of all time. It's definitely like top 5, maybe top 3. I loved Wasteland Strangler. That card is so sick. Wasteland Strangling a suspended Riftbolt to kill like a burn player's Goblin Guide. One of the best feelings you can have in Magic. Yeah, Eureka, what the fuck are you doing in chat? Queue for this prelim. We got 2 people. Get in here. Come take my lunch money. Oh, also, I think I missed someone. Hooray, thanks for the resub. Appreciated. Wasteland Stranglers play Blood Modern Black White D&T currently. I don't believe you. It's a sweet card. I wish it was playable in Modern Black White D&T currently. It'd be a cool one. You attack with the Felia, flicker out their thing, play the Wasteland Strangler, eat the other thing. I don't know how the Felia connects when they have 2 creatures in play, but, you know, this will be fine, I'm sure. Isn't Prelim just for QPs? Pretty much, yeah. He's going to play a little bit more high stakes. Maybe not high stakes, more competitive Magic. I still own my foil Stranglers from playing Whiteback Eldrazi Taxes. I think I do too. I saw Jamie streaming a Modern Challenge. He was playing Strangler. That'd be cool if it was playable. I can't say I've seen Strangler in most of the lists, but it does have some number of good interactions. It probably isn't embarrassing to play. You can like root for it. It's probably kind of embarrassing to play. Yeah, Nick 3 probably doesn't even kill a lot in the format. I could definitely use some more QPs, probably. I didn't actually check, but I'm always down to play a Prelim. Prelims are good vibes for, like, stress testing. Strangler, grab the creature under the Uggin's Labyrinth? Yeah, now you're getting it. The problem is that, like, the Uggin's Labyrinth decks don't really have that, like, the creatures in play very often, right? Kind of hard to grab their shit sometimes. It's like, if you can't really grab the Thought-Knot because it's exiled your Wasteland Strangler, you can't shoot a token because they just sack it and fizzle your trigger to eat the exile thing. you can't really eat the Mega Spawn because they Stone Rain you. I mean, I guess Mega Spawn in Modern isn't double Stone Raining you, so how long will Prelim stay up after start time? I think it is like, I think it's about 15 minutes, I don't know. Hoping and praying for Eureka to get here in time. This has been good. I've been enjoying. I hope chat was having fun, even though I wasn't playing Magic for like an hour, just sitting and talking. Just like after last week's stream, I just like my mental was just fucking shot. I just can't keep playing Standard, man. I was just so burnt from Standard. It's been fun to just take a deep breath, refresh myself, play Magic for fun and not for obligation. Even though I haven't actually been playing Magic, just talking about playing Magic. I'm staying in stream though. That's fine, yeah. I'm not even gonna regret getting Mike to join. He can beat me. It's fine. He'll beat me. It's all good. Standard is. I don't have anything bad to say about Standard really. Standard's like fine. It's just not super enjoyable for me, and I hate playing Magic out of obligation. And just like I feel very obliged to play Standard because of the PT looming, and just like, oh, if I'm playing other formats, I just be like, maybe I should be prepping for Standard instead. But no, I just want to have fun playing Magic. So, take a break from Standard, play some Legacy, play the Magic that I enjoy, As soon as you hoped everyone has a good time, my Path of Exile crashed. Great. Just play the best deck. I literally, playing the best deck was one of the worst Magic experiences of my entire life. In the first PT that I played in, it was an arena PT for... I've probably told this story like dozens of times on the channel, but... the arena PT for Streets of New Capenna was like, it was all online. It was like Standard and Historic, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just play the good deck, whatever. It's my first Pro Tour. I should like try hard instead of like playing the decks that I like to play. And it was just the most miserable experience I've ever had playing Magic. I just did not have fun. It was very stressful. I wasn't enjoying myself at all. It was really, really... I took a week off of work to like just do nothing but play test. It was miserable. I fucking hated it. It was awful. And then like after that, I lost my win to day 2. To fucking Dom Harvey playing green-white humans with Thalia in Historic. It was like this really cool deck that not a lot of people are playing. A deck that I absolutely would have played if I wasn't tryharding. It was like the most supreme universal justice in the world. That I lost to like fucking green-white humans with Thalia in the final round. Am I winning into for day 2? And it was just like, I after that I was like, I immediately uninstalled Arena because I was never going to play it again. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to like trick myself into just being like, oh, I'll just be the best deck player. I just can't do that. It's not my cup of tea for Magic. I'm going to play the decks that I find fun. Insta karma, yeah. It was extremely funny. I could not even be mad about it. Need to put in the effort to try to qualify for non-arena PT. I am very excited to play in a paper PT. I've heard the vibes on paper PT vibes are like so wholly unmatched, and it is very cool. And I imagine it is very cool. The arena PT for me was very miserable, and I didn't like it at all. It looks like we're not going to fire this event, huh? We'll just play some League. Some leagues. You dabble, don't play. Also, it's 4 a.m. That's the best time to play Magic. All right, here I'll get the prelim to fire by firing up the league, huh? As soon as I hit this, the prelim will instantly fire. You just gotta trust in the process. I'm snap dropping this match if the prelim actually fires. It just does not matter to me. I just want to play some Magic, though. Been sitting here talking for too long now. Just join a match and tell them to join the prelim. Hey, do this instead. I'll concede. What are the best ways to get better Legacy other than playing thousands of games? Watch people that play Legacy. There are a lot of really good content creators out there. And especially, rather than, like, mindlessly jamming, if you're not familiar with a lot of, like, the play patterns and stuff, you'll learn a lot of tricks from players that you may not have known about decks. Let DB_X take a join. I'm actually not allowed to join prelims with that account. Also, yeah, playing on 2 different accounts in the same event is also, like, definitely not allowed. And it's fine. I'm not telling my opponent to join the prelim. We gotta see what deck they're on first. If they're on Eldrazi, I don't want them to join the prelim. I'd rather not play. Oh, shit. When they run out Nomads on turn 1, it's very scary. If I don't draw a white card, I'm gonna Wasteland. If I do draw a white card... I think I'm gonna Wasteland here. Basic Forest. Basic Forest plus... Oh, no, this is just Bant Nadu then, right? I was scared of Breakfast specifically, but it looks like this is just Bant Nadu now. There's a white card. That's nice. I knew it! I told you, chat. I told you the prelim would fire. God damn it. Chat, am I double queuing or am I dropping? Playing against Silent Goat? We're playing against Moonstomp. That's like not even a match. Don't even have to think about it. Wait, Memory's Journey? What's happening? Is this Breakfast? Is this Basic Forest Breakfast? Breakfast player that, like, got tired of getting Blood Mooned so many times? Oh man, are we gonna get to Bowmaster this Nomads? That never happens. Double Q. Bad influences. Alright, so we do this now, or I guess on their upkeep or whatever. Because I don't want them to be able to activate the Saga and move the damage over. Ding. I talked it all big, saying I was gonna instantly drop the match, and then didn't instantly drop the match. Wait, Totally Get, you fired the prelim? Tell me to leave the Legacy queue first. I don't want to be here. We just got scammed into the Watch D&D double queue. Yeah, this is your fault. This is what you all asked for. Sand sucks. Sand also sucks. I'm just gonna, like... Silent Goat doesn't actually play Blood Moon, though, is the thing. He plays, like, 2. Does a 2-drop. This guy plays really good versus, like, Silent Goat list, specifically, if he's on his usual list, but we'll just F6 and, like, die Eternal Blood Moon, it'll be fine. it's funny. I hate you guys. Explicitly doing it because I because I fired up the league match. I guess if it works, it works. Doesn't sound like good things are happening on the other side. I kind of want to Witch Enchanter the Shuko that inevitably comes off this saga. Which means I kind of want a white card. Does that mean I get Sash? Or do I just get Phantom Blade? To kill a thing? I think I just get Sash here. I'm kind of sitting fine here for a while. Ah, Turn 1 Fable. Oh, we didn't get Turn 1 Blood Moon. Nice. I mean, this is bad news too. We're gonna die to this, but... Would have been really bad if we got Turn 1 Blood Moon there, but instead we got Turn 1 Fabled, which is still very bad. Make a token, please. Don't float mana. I don't want to deal with a fucking Nadu in play. I wanted to just blow up your Shuko. Do I bounce this or do I just Solitude it? I think I just Solitude it, pitching the Sash. Then untap and Enchanter the... Although, yeah, no, this is fine. Reveal second Nadu, perfect. Are we just getting like turn 3? I think we just die here, right? He's getting like turn 3 Magosynth Latticed. Such as our life being on the draw, mulling to 6. Guess this was a little dangerous if they had like force, huh? Hey, double exposure, thanks for the follow, appreciated. So tapped out our Caracas. He just pluses it? Oh, just has a bunch of loyalty now. Fetch basic planes. Take a draw step before I die. Draw like Felia. There's a world where we get out of this. Not a very likely world, but... Alright, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to double queue. Try to end one of these matches as soon as possible. Wait, what did they do? They pondered? No, sure. Oh, they pondered and missed. Jeez. It's really bad for you, opponent. Oh, we can just Cauldron them too? Shit. Let's go. Stone Forge, Cauldron, put in Cauldron, shove. Up a game, down a game. Get these fucking White Orchid Phantoms out of my goddamn deck. I think I want to cut Sash more than Bowmasters a little bit. Maybe not. I would love to play first. This hand's dicey, but I think this is a hand that you definitely have to keep. Got a lot of good cards, really needs a black source. I guess we could die here. We could have just died like the full combo, huh? But not a lot I could have done about it. So I just wanted to jam anyway. Could have like held up Phantom Blade, but then we're missing out on so much damage there. I think killing them in over 2 turns is the right way to go. Just want to draw Black Source the next 2 turns, and we're sitting pretty happy. How do I sideboard versus presumably not breakfast? But with a basic forest means they have like at least 3 basics. You really don't want Phantom for anything except for Saga. So like maybe we keep in 1. But it's a really unexciting card to be in my deck. Formal Wear is not super thrilling here either. More gets a little bit better with Overlord as a potential enabler. I don't think I want a White Orchid Phantom in my deck at all. Sure. Sure. I'll definitely plow that. When it comes off of Petal plus City of Traders, specifically. Oh, now we have a pitch card. The Solitude. We talked so much shit about double queuing, and now we're the double queuer, huh? I blame chat for my transgressions. I couldn't possibly be at fault. This game's pretty good. Discard double Chalice of the Void. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Sure. I think I'm just going to take the 2 damage here. If they have, like, follow-up 0... Might even let them sack the 0 to kill the Philia. No. Alright, Black Source. One-time dealer. Nope. Just Nothing good to do here. Attack for 2, say go. My god, this Felia card's not very good, huh? It's mostly a mana issue here. Felia could be, like, extremely busted here. Like, Felia Overlord is really good versus Moon Zombie because they struggle to kill Felia cast on their end step so often. But I think I just hold up all of my stuff. Can't even do anything. It's really obnoxious, actually. Still in game 1. I mean, 2 game 2s. What are you talking about? I'm literally in 2 different game 2s. I don't know what you want from me, Eureka. Zephyrin, yeah, exactly. Not me. I'm in game 2. I lost on, like, turn 3. I guess I just solitude this Bombardiers. Doesn't really do anything if it's just a reflection of Kiki Jiki. Or Ophelia. I guess they could actually, like, flicker their reflection, make a thing. Well, that's not very good against my Ophelia, but... I could also pick up my Felia here if I really wanted to. So they have to make a reflection. But I don't think them making a Felia does anything, actually. Oh, wait. I don't even know if I want them to have that back, honestly. Black Source. Alright, we'll take it. Not a Black Source, but pretty good. Cavern Wizard Shuko. You just can't tap out this turn. We have 3 lands already. We have 2 different fucking equipment in our hands. Jesus. We don't have enough white cards in our hand here to, like, hold up double Solitude and tap out for Overlord. Overlord could hit a white card. But also Overlord after we inevitably have to cast a Solitude next turn, though, so... that seems likely fine. I imagine this turn's gonna go, like, Nadu, Plow, Force, Solitude. They'll be up some cards. Problem is this Reflection's not summoning sick anymore, so we're probably just gonna eat shit to it. If Croc is up for Felia, at least. It's a lot of equipment. In which hand? A lot of equipment in both of my hands right now. Nothing. Might get giga fucked by Reflection copying a Paragraph. Yeah, they need... yeah. I don't know if that's wouldn't take a lot of damage, so I guess that's kind of fair. If we just draw a black source, then we just insta-win the game. Black source. Get back Solitude. Is this actually insta-win the game? I mean, it's obscenely good. So probably, yeah. Get back Solitude, Solitude by Argoyf. We don't actually get to kill the Reflection this turn, though, right? Because we don't have another white card. So it's a little dangerous to leave this Reflection alive again. We could actually get killed by Pyrogoyf. By a second Pyrogoyf, right? But if I attack into the Pyrogoyf, I'm only killing it. God. Why are there no white cards in my hand? I think Pyrogoyf is bad for me regardless of which one of these things I kill, so I'll just kill the one that works out better for me. Oh, I could always pick up Felia, actually, huh? That's probably the play. Pick up Felia for the extra white card. Kill the Reflection if he puts something scary on the stack. This doesn't kill Saga activations. This is also a black card. I think I just don't want this. I just want to draw more white cards. I'm probably going to Shock and Barter Trawler and play. This also works putting a card in the graveyard, so I guarantee get a hit off of Overlord here. Alright, fine. I see how it is, deck. This lets me put Overlord into play. What's happening over here? Cursed Mirror? You can Cursed Mirror my Overlord. That's pretty fun. Get, like, 2 triggers. That's probably fine. Oh, you actually get... Wait. Oh, gets a Fury, too. Jeez. If you copy, though, then I think I Solitude this in response. Yeah. I think I just Solitude this Overlord now. Any land or white card makes us happy with this board state. We can even just pick up Yorion here, worst case here. Like attack, pick up Solitude. Oh, that's a really good one, huh? I think I just want Solitude in my hand anyway this turn, and just pick up Yorion rather than, like, cast a... I guess I could cast Flicker. Casting Flicker is just way better. Never mind. Flickers was just the nut here. I guess Flickers means I can't actually Yorion, but I don't need to do all that. If he pitch casts Fury here to try to double kill, we just have Solitude, or we just have Plow. I will take my white card and be happy. Solitude. I'm the last match, no pressure. I think I'm pretty fine here, but that means we also have to go to game 3, huh? I want to finish this other match first then if I'm last match, because then the prelim will just immediately roll over. I need to finish my fucking league match. Karn? Sure. Do you have 3 mana for Cursed Mirror again? I guess you're not dead, huh? Oh, fair enough. What's going on over here? I want to draw a land so I can Skyclave this Shuko, but their Saga's about to pop off. Get them second Shuko, which is not super great. I think I will do it regardless, though. I do need to kill all of their Shukos eventually, especially with, like, Cavern on Wizard here. I guess I'm not Red Blast deck anymore. Makes the construct smaller. Eventually dealing with all the Shukos is nice. Versus Inevitable Nomads. Or not, no, Nomads. Illusionist. And Nadu. Going. Just make a guy. Untap. I assume my opponent is just not playing into my removal spells because I've been holding up my mana every turn, and they use Saga to pressure me. Probably just going to lose game 3 of the other match is an issue because Silent Goat's decks murder the shit out of D&T. It's just a bunch of fast mana and 4-drops that you can't beat. Do I Plow here? I don't think I do. There's like kind of a window here where I could potentially cast Swords to Plowshares. Because they only have 2 mana this turn, possibly. So, like, they could go, like, Land Illusionist, and then we still have Solitude backup, but they're, like, they're not going to Nadu me, for example. If they attack, do I, like, block? Do I Plow and block? We're at 14, jeez. When do we lose all this life? I guess we took 3 here, huh? And then, like, fetched 3 times. I suppose that's how we lost all this life. I don't really want to take 4. Give them a 1/1. I have, and then I have Bowmaster. Plowing before blocking, notably, because if they, like, force the plow, then my Skyclave just dies for no reason. This does give them the opportunity to, like, plow the Skyclave before I get to declare blocks now, but that's less of a blowout, I think. I could, like, plow the attacking construct instead, but I think I like the potential upside here more. Sounds like they're casting Force of Will, though. Alright, we'll keep this and lose, that's fine. Force of Will pitching Memory's Journey again. Alright, that's acceptable. I'll take the 4 here. Do I just tap out here? I can't hold up Double Solitude anyway. I could, like, just jam Phantom Blade. They have 3 cards, which means they're likely, like, not super well protected, like, if they go for the combo. I think this is a turn where I do want to tap out. Is tapping out for Phantom Blade better than tap? Yes, because if I tap out for Hardcast Solitude, I don't have Pitch Cast Solitude up. As someone who played D&T when K command meant Kolgon's command, I agree with that play. Yeah, those were the days, huh? I'll keep this. No, my opponent kept a very creature-based hand. Or a very, wastelandable hand. I, like, kind of just want to wasteland this turn 1, knowing, like, Silent Goat's usual mana bases. It's also a reason to wasteland turn 1, gives me a redraw Black Source. Usually you want to hit Ancient Tomb, but I know Silent Goat doesn't actually... He plays like 1 land less than most. I'm still thinking about this. There we go. I will Thoughtseize over playing Vial here. I think it's probably pretty important versus someone who's probably trying to cast a 4-mana spell next turn. If we get Blood Moon, it's not the end of the world, because we have a basic Plains. We can cast Recruiter of the Guard. Laelia. Ooh, we have a Crocus for that. That's nice. Oh, I almost want to take this Chrome Mox, huh? I almost want to take this Chrome Mox, huh? I don't think I'm allowed to, though. I think I just need to take these Fables. 2 Fables is pretty hard to beat here. If they have to, like, if he goes, like, Mountain, Chrome Mox, Pitch, Sundering Eruption, cast Fable, we're pretty okay here. Hopefully he casts Laelia for no reason. This seems unlikely, though. Shocked, I say. Bowmaster would actually be pretty good. Priest, not bad. This is probably just a Vile Hold Up Crocus turn. We can snipe the Fable afterwards. I kind of don't want to play Crocus, because then he just loots away the Laelia, but I don't want to let the Laelia attack here, so it's probably the best course of action. I don't think I'm solituding this Goblin Shaman. My opponent's mana seems pretty stable here. Split top 4 of a Win a Duel with Boros 95. Duck felt good. That's good to hear. Love it. Doesn't really matter which one you said destroy. Oh, are they Googling if they kill my Skyclave in response to the trigger or something? Or, like, consign. I see. Fair enough. Consign's pretty rough for me here. Because I don't get to kill anything, and we're at 10 life. We might just need to hope that my opponent's last 2 cards aren't combo pieces, and just Solitude here. Just casting Lelia into the Caracas. Alright, deal. Discarded just Spirit Guide. Yeah, with this much mana, I'm not solituding this Goblin Shaman. Next turn, we'll just cast Containment Priest, hold up Caracas. Maybe we can seed this match, huh? After trying so hard for so long to scrape by. We have to go into like match 2 in the league, or in the prelim here. What are we doing in his upkeep? Not in danger of timing out here at all. I'm in danger of timing out here for sure. That's pretty horrifying, huh? Do I block this Goblin Shaman? I don't think yet. Technically, my priest is turning off my Aether Vial here. But I do kind of want a board presence to try to attack down, like, Karns. Or, like, steal initiative. I don't know if he has, Caves of Chaos Adventure in his list lately. I think I'm fine taking one more turn here. Does also synergize with the Flickers in my hand, potentially like kill something. Could also just Flicker Wisp it next turn, potentially. Just pluses on the Teferi, huh? I think I put Yori in my hand over... I think we're just going to get comboed here. But, like, equipping and attacking also doesn't clear the Teferi, so I'd rather go for the high upside play. Where I get to cast Yori next turn and just, like, eat everything on their board. Seems like dead. Alright, cool. We'll just concede this match. That'll be fine. We'll just not play this league. After double queuing for a game 2 that didn't matter at all. Just waste everybody's time. Recast Lelia? Sure. Draw land here is very good. Not draw land here is pretty bad, but still manageable. Your time has been wasted. I think I'm blocking this next turn. I think we just say go here. I could, like, Flicker Wisp my Caracas. I could just Flicker Wisp the Lelia, I guess. It's not bad. It's really bad if my opponent's last card specifically is dead gone. But if it was, he would have just cast it and saved his Fable, so it's not. Yeah, maybe we just do kill the Lelia. Just advance our board state. If we get the Flicker Wisp killed, we have the Formalware for, like, the Wombo combos. I don't actually hate that plan. Or if the last card is another Lelia. Yeah, I guess it's also kind of bad there. I am not going to attack here, because there's a pretty high likelihood I block now, with the Vial going to 3 and my hand having double Recruiter of the Guard. If I get, like, Hardcast Fury here, I'm still pretty fine. We just cast Formalware, get back Wisp, Flicker Formalware, get back Priest. Or some such. We are in danger of getting Karned at some point. And that is a card that I'm pretty scared of. Well, I guess it's a good reason to cast Wisp as well. Flying pressure here. If they can't just minus the Karn for, like, something randomly. They could, notably, minus the Karn for, like, Ensnaring Bridge. That'd be pretty bad for me here. With no access to Skyclave or secondary Flicker Wisp. Or... that's about it. The Vial's shut off because of the Karn, so I can't, like, I'd take 2 turns to recruit Skyclave, and by then they could potentially try to Lattice lock me. That would be pretty terrible. It just gotta be Bridge, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. What other sideboard cards could you even grab with Karn here that would be reasonable? Ballista for 2, I guess, if he has a Ballista in his list. The One Ring, that is not nearly as threatening as Snaring Bridge for me here, but I guess he doesn't know that. What is this choice? What does this mean? What is this? Is this, like, Hardcast Fury, then? Like, I want to block this to get my Vial online. But if my Wisp dies, then it's bad. But if it's Hardcast Fury, my Priest never lives. This might just be post-combat cast a One Ring. Which I'm totally fine with. I just recruit, like, Skyclave and Skyclave the One Ring, and then they just don't have anything. I think I'm supposed to block this. I can't think of a lot of cards that punish me here. There are some, certainly, but we just won't get hit by them. Yeah, this is just 8 mana the One Ring. That also gains 3 life. It doesn't even gain 3 life, because I can't attack for damage. Anyway, it's just 8 mana the One Ring. Sure. We just recruit Skyclave it, I guess. Maybe they don't, man, maybe, I'd be surprised if there were no bridges, but it's a distinct possibility, I guess. Nothing better to answer the One Ring, unfortunately. My board is extremely Fury-shaped. But we can rebuild pretty well. Just with, like, Formalware. Pyroglyph, sure. Pyroglyph the Skyclave. Build a bigger board, sure. This vial's going up because we have 2 5s in our hand for sure. Which means I want to put in this recruiter right now. Go get a second wisp, I think. No, we want to answer the... We don't have to answer the Paraglaive. We definitely do this. Maybe we do get second wisp, because wisp is just so good with the formalware if our wisps all die. Feels a little awkward not killing the Paraglaive right now. But there aren't a lot of cards that punish me, that force me to kill the Paraglaive here. Don't answer chassis, don't time out. We have 4 minutes left. This is fine. So, yeah, second Paraglaive does punish me, notably, but not even that bad. Fury kind of punishes me. We take 5 here, but then we're still pretty fine. How does this work exactly? Trying to figure out the best sequence of events. 3/3 double strike and plague wind. Not even good enough. I think we just manage our life total. We played a little bit safe. And we don't go for, like, second... We don't go for, second wisp here. We just want to, like, make sure we don't die to get punked out by something. Because we have Yorion to reinitiate the 4 more lines. Another Fury. Sure. We can beat that, too. Fury only kills one of my things, even. 7? This is Shatter Skull? And then we just Solitude the Fury. Balemerc the Wisp. Wisp the thing. God, he's really gonna make me work for this win, huh? Maybe I will need it all the time. Why am I not F6'd? Yeah, it's fine, I don't care. Your-day life. We did it. We won. We won a match. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom again real quick before round 2. Get out of here. Get. Things calm down now. We can single queue. Everything's chill. We'll play against Eureka and lose in 5 minutes, and then we'll inevitably have to go back to the, should we fire up a league match? And then I'm just not going to. Munchlax. Alright, deal. Not Eureka. We take those. I'm going to ignore the last play deck. It'll be fine. Lower end of keepable hand. I think it's kind of fine, honestly. Unless, of course, Munchlax is in fact on Doomsday, and I'm going to be very sad. Anyway, I missed the stress of double queuing. I missed everyone that came in to tell me to play Modern D&T again, to which I will respond the same way I did 2 hours ago when people were telling me this. I'm not going to play a single game of Modern until after the Pro Tour. Come back to the stream then, and then berate me into playing Modern Death and Taxes. I will be much more willing. Oh, man. This is Doomsday. Damn, I thought Munchlax used to be a Moonstomping player. Am I wrong? Munchlax's history. Yeah, Moonstompy. You hate to see it. You hate to see the hero become the villain. Not Doomsday? Took the plow? I don't know, maybe they just don't care about the Overlord, but you don't care about the plow at all if you're Doomsday. Overlord could get me a good card, potentially. Definitely don't want to draw that, huh? Deck said, too bad. I'm gonna fetch Swamp here just in case it's like just a weird, like, it could be like Reanimator or something else, something deck with Wastelands. Impend this. Daze? It's a reason to take the plow instead of the 2-drop, because I'm pretty priced into casting Overlord on turn 2 every time, but I mean, you could also just take the Overlord and daze a different card that I draw and never care about the plow. I don't know. Maybe it's just none of your cards matter. I'm going to kill you. That, I guess, is technically not a land. This is below average Doomsday hand. Certainly. If it's Doomsday, plow does, yeah, close to nothing. It means that they have to go off with the 0 cards in library, obviously, but especially known info plow. So it's not Doomsday. It's Reanimator, which was the other speculation based on Thoughtseize plow into Daze. Archon of Cruelty, huh? Into Reanimate? Hoping for Animated, yeah. One can hope. We'll simply Flicker Wisp the Archon. That'll show him. I mean, I think we're gonna lose this game, but on the off chance that we don't, probably supposed to run out Flicker Wisp as a Scry 1. Pretty bad Scry 1. Be a lot better if I had an Overlord in play and not Dazed. Oh, well, I was just on top anyway. Wasted a Flicker Wisp. Discard Witch Enchanter here. Maybe discarding Caracas is better. Maybe discarding Yorion's better. No. Reanimate my Flicker Wisp, Flicker the Archon. Maybe keeping something to cast is better. I'm just gonna have 5 mana, cast Plow, say go, which is pretty awful. I'm probably just gonna lose this game and it doesn't matter at all, so it's the easiest way. Interesting. No, I was looking at the Doomsday list that I accidentally opened up, trying to find their history. I was about to say they have no basics in their deck, but no, this is the fucking Turbo Doomsday list. Close this so I stop looking at it. Oh, that is actually interesting. That they're on, like, actual, factual, like, blue-black turbo, or at least some amount of speed. Of extra speed. My guess is that they would have Lotus Petal, too. Still not dead, funnily enough, because we can Caracas the Atraxa and Plow the Archon. Like, we're probably dead to the 10 cards they find off of the Archon. Or not. Oh, no, they have Force? But no second blue card? If they don't have blue card in their hand, we still are alive. They can animate dead my Overlord, though, and probably kill me. Just deal them 6. Oh, they can animate the Overlord like right now. Yeah, this is like actual classic, good old like 2012 blue-black Reanimator. Wouldn't be surprised to see like sideboard show and tells style. Oh, they flicker. They get my Yorion. That's much better. All right, yeah, yield. Yeah, this is definitely a matchup where you don't want a bunch of like this dirtily bullshit that doesn't do anything, huh? 2012 Reanimator would have gotten Sire of Sanity. Yeah, the creatures have gotten a little bit better for 2012 Reanimator, huh? Get these fucking White Orchid Phantoms out of my deck for like the 3rd matchup in a row. Not saying it's a bad card, but I'm not saying it's a good card. I think I'm supposed to... They can flicker the Animate Dead too and get back something else other than the Orion and flicker everything. And so, yeah, we're just like 100 ways to dead there. Realistically, we're like, they flicker everything, including the Animate Dead, lose the Orion, deal me damage down to 3 with the Archon, and then put the Orion to play on end step, flicker the Archon again, and then deal me another 3 damage and kill me without even attacking. Anyway, I think you're supposed to trim down on Overlords, because they're actually kind of a disaster for your opponent to steal. When you're on, like, the Leyline plan specifically, you want to try to trim the stuff in your deck that is good against you. Which, don't really want my opponent stealing my 5/5s. This was a reason that I was actually, like, not super happy with Overlord in the Frog era, is because there were a lot of games where I just, like, cast Overlord on turn 2, and it got dazed, and then my opponent would reanimate it. Just beat the shit out of me. But trimming 3 Overlords also makes your Felia, like, way, way, way worse. So, we have, like, 1 Priest to make the Felia a little bit better, but... tough calls all around, huh? A lot of cards I'm not interested in here. You could, like, maybe do something like this. Let's try it like this. I haven't played Legacy. I can blame all my choices on experimentation. Alright. Disruptor Flute can be... I don't think so. What are you naming? You're just gonna name Entomb? Name one of their 2 reanimate spells and hope that that's the one that they have? Name Force of Will? I don't know about that one. Name Petty Theft after you put Leyline into play? My stuff resolving is not my primary concern with this matchup. The primary concern is to stop them from putting a thing into play, which generally involves you not having to resolve anything, because you put a leyline into play a lot of the time. And they don't always steal your Overlord. You do want to kill them sometimes. The Overlord is pretty good at killing your opponent. Anyway, I'm sitting here staring at this hand. But I don't think it's actually keepable. I think you're supposed to mulligan pretty aggressively versus Reanimator nowadays, especially because we saw so many... Oh, Jesus, this hand's nuts. We saw so many, we saw Lotus Petal and Dark Ritual, so they're not even on a classic blue-black post-ban Reanimator. This hand's, like, actually absurd, though. I think I'm going to turn 1 Aether Vial here, just because... It's the most, like, it's on a multi-6 with 2 lands, feeling safe with a Leyline on turn 1, like, I'd rather get Vial down more than any of these other cards. Is there any room for therapy in this deck, especially with Overlord milling? Probably. I don't know if I'm super keen on therapy right now, because there's a lot of combo decks that therapy is like a like a coin flip card to cast. Petal Ritual for Exinigator. The thing is that, like, the reason I think D&T has a much better matchup now is that, like, you can mulligan more aggressively for graveyard hate in this matchup because their plan Bs are so much worse against D&T, at least, because D&T just has such a high density of removal spells. And, like, all they have is, like, what's it called? The Dothy Voidwalker and Barrowwave now. It's not like, oh, we mulligan to 6 and we have Terminal Leyline and no removal spell, and if they cast a frog, then we just instantly die. We actually just... Their threats are much, much worse. We have a lot more time to figure our shit out. Oh, they sideboarded into Doomsday, huh? That's pretty bad for me. And they have 2 Doomsdays in their hand. God. I thought about that too when I saw them on Doomsday. It's usually the inverse, though, isn't it? Isn't it usually Reanimator or Doomsday that boards into Reanimator? Why do you have 2 Doomsdays in your hand? Come on, opponent. Leave me the fuck alone. I mean, do we just lose? Do we just take a Ponder? And try to draw, like, Wastelands and shit? I guess. Maybe take the Edge of Autumn is better than taking Ponder, I don't know. Mostly just lose, I think. I don't like that they're fetching here instead of casting Ponder. It means that they probably put, yeah, a Lotus Petal or a Dark Ritual on top. Yeah, I mean, we got juked, but D&T's not beating Doomsday anyway, like, eh. I guess maybe I'm supposed to leave White Orchid Phantoms, although they might just still be on basic Swamp Basic Plains, but you leave in White Orchid Phantoms if you expect this, because you would at least get to, like, shuffle their library and stuff. The thing that really annoys me is that when Doomsday players try to juke D&T with the Reanimator stuff, it never makes sense to me, because, like, Doomsday is so fucking good at killing D&T players, and just like, oh, you've boarded it in such a way that I actually have a chance to win the game. I don't understand why you've done this. This juke makes sense. because Reanimator is an archetype that like D&T generally has a pretty good matchup against. You have a bunch of playable hate cards. A lot of them are pretty bad versus Doomsday. Yeah, when they board in like Shield Dreads and Murktide Regents, or just like straight up like Entomb, Atraxa, Archon. Like there was a while that there was a Doomsday list that was just pretty recently. I think Romario did it to me. He like boarded into like Grizzlebrand and stuff. I was like, this is just straight disrespectful. Personal? This sideboard is literally just like 4 Doomsday, 4 Personal Tutor Cyclers, and like 1 Thoracle. It's like nothing in our deck we can draw at all. Yeah, I'm good. And now we will say, actually we're almost done. Nice. Just deal them 9. Just cast 2 lightning axes this time. Or lava axes. Shit. Eureka, please win. Where's Eureka now? Last match. No pressure. Harain 2. I'll sit and chill. There's no way in hell someone's gonna convince me. I'll tell you why later. It's dumb. That's good to hear, at least. That's fun. I'm not getting baited into playing a single other league match tonight. Literally only did sign up for the league because I knew it would fire the prelim somehow, some way. And then it did. I didn't actually check to see. I was curious if Munchlax's list had basics in it or not. My guess would be that you can play the basic island and the basic swamp. But maybe you don't because you're just like Turbo Reanimator and you're not like futzing around like Wastelands or like getting to turn 2 or anything of that sort. My version of that deck has both. Yeah, hard to know for sure. Well, easy to know for sure if I had just looked at their exile pile because I was actually curious. But can you look at replays before prelim finishes? I guess there's an easy way to find that out, huh? The answer is yes. Never mind. The answer is no. It's part of an active event. You win this round. I guess the flute believers were correct. I should have boarded in flute. Maybe I was actually supposed to board in Deafening Silence, though. I kind of just, like, autopiloted to boarding versus regular blue-black. But, like, versus Dark Ritual Lotus Petal, you probably are supposed to board in Deafening Silence, huh? Minor tweak there. Review my own stream. I guess I could do that, huh? Pull up the Twitch VOD right now. Twitch.tv. Twitch.tv/xjcloud. Problem is we can't like zoom in on the exile pile. I did pop it out at least, but we'll see if we can see it, I guess. Oh god, it's gonna like incept in a second. No, stop. Oh, that's a tough ask. Can I up the quality on my own stream, huh? Settings, quality, max. Alright, that's doable. Alright. You don't see any basics. UC. Doubtful they would put the basic swamp in the pile, too. My guess would be no basics. Maybe the basic highland. There's no way they only have like 4 fetchables, though. Is there an Undercity Sewer in here? There's gotta be, right? I don't see an Undercity Sewer. Oh, there it is, yeah. Only 5 fetchables, though? Oh, nice. We're back. Eureka, you're supposed to win! What are you doing? I won't play against you. Joyful Awful, I'll take that one. Deal. Please queue into Eureka. Go away! Cut it out. This hand's pretty weak as far as hands against Delver go, but keep it. A little susceptible to getting wastelanded. Nice. I love it when Delver doesn't play a creature on turn 1. Big fan. Alright, he will simply not have any wastelands. Whoa! Alright. Full house. I mean, I guess we take a lightning bolt. It's just a better chain lightning. Gain 1 life or gain 1 life. Yeah. Alright, well, we're at an effective 6, potentially. Notably, my opponent will likely have to bolt some number of my creatures at the very least. Oh, man. We just fire off the Bowmaster on this and pray that he doesn't hit exactly like creature or artifact on top. I think that's probably wise. In response, bolt the Bowmasters, yada yada, makes sense. Get your Surveil and also have the X% chance to save your Channeler, and if the Channeler gets saved, we still have Skyclave Fort at the very least. Nice. Just been to Brainstorm. I feel like you almost want that Brainstorm, huh? Maybe not. I guess you're losing your other fetch land. What's the play here? My opponent has one lightning bolt left. I kind of want to wasteland them. Do I just get Felia bolted? Just like wasteland them, say go. Cast Stoneforge, get pre-war Formaware. That's probably better. They just never win if they bolt the Stoneforge. They never win if they don't. Thinking about building the Stoneforge. Sweating. Maybe that wasteland was a little aggressive. I was like kind of scared of a Murktide. Never mind. Do I jam Formaware into a Daze now, though? They've one card in hand. If the Formaware gets Dazed, we're still super far ahead. I'm gonna grab Plains. We actually... we have a fair number of black cards. If we get Wastelanded, we get Wastelanded off of just Skyclave. Grab the Swamp. I'm getting Dazed. Scammed. Scam. God damn it. They always have the days, huh? Oh, well, it's fine. Means that our Skyclave's not getting dazed. Means we have two dead Felias in our hand. Immediately draw the land as punishment as divine punishment for my greed. Oh, well, that's fine. And we'll just say go. This Felia will be real good if I have something to flicker with it. Because all my opponent has in hand is Chain Lightnings. Just exclusively Chain Lightnings, things that are famously not good at killing this Felia. Finds the fourth lightning bolt. That's actually really funny. Fair enough. Please kill my Felia opponent. I have another, and I'm not going to flicker anything. I mean, they'll just bolt it end step. If not right now. There's quads. Yeah, I suppose we just forced the issue, huh? I kind of wanted to just go get, like... I kind of just want to play a land, almost. It's probably not very good. Bowmaster? No, they're going to play a Questing Druid, but then we're just going to Skyclave it. Do I just want to land? It's much better against it if they top deck Daze, in addition to, like, Bolts, Chain Lightning my stuff. I kind of just want to hit a land drop here. Gets me closer to Solitude and like Yorion. You'll let me attack? Oh, you're gonna bolt the Recruiter. Sure. That's fine. And then Chain Lightning the Felia. I guess that's kind of the same thing, but it's whatever. least. Yeah, right. Yeah, they no wastelands from them at least. I've activated one. No questing druid. Interesting. They draw like Murktide. Yeah, seems like it. Fair enough. Just a plow Felia turn instead. Or draw land and just hard cast Solitude on this. That'd be nice. Oh, the moto lag. It actually hadn't hit me today yet. At least noticeably. Ding. Now they go questing druid, chain lightning your solitude. We can skyclave it, pick up Yorion potentially, flash in Felia potentially. Do I just sorcery speed the Felia maybe? Play around top decking a days. They're already down 2 chain lightnings, or soon to be down the second chain lightning. How many more could they possibly have? It's probably just Skyclave plus Felia. Still have the chain lightning in hand. Interesting. Now what? We're 16. That last card is chain lightning. Probably just Skyclave at Yorion now, because they can only chain lightning one of my removal spell guys. I suppose I'll gain 3 life first. They're just gonna chain lightning the Solitude. Whoa. They just block? I didn't think I would get this far. Yeah, I guess we just add Yorion to hand. Feeling pretty comfortable about this game's position. We're at 18 versus my opponent who has cast 5 lightning bolts and has a 6th in hand. Yeah, they're on the towel. We take those. We board in frighteningly little. Board out. Overlord Phantom's like okay in this matchup. They'll have the 1 basic. Should have just gone face with all of the Leylines. I don't like Leyline versus Delver as D&D specifically. It's just not a card you need. I like it better in decks that have a worse time managing cards like Murktide Regent or Dragon's Rage Channeler. Well, I'd be more interested in it and boarding it in as a deck like Moonstomp or Eldrazi or something. But D&T's like pretty fine. You don't want this like dead draw in the late game in these games that are going to take like 10, 12 turns to finish sometimes. I wonder if it's just like cut a Thoughtseize. Thougtseize is like decent. It's good to cast on turn 1 and, like, rapidly falls off in quality after that. Maybe we just board out one Thoughtseize. That seems like... Maybe we board out, like, one Felia. Felia seems hard to do things with in this matchup. Maybe not. Maybe that was just a weird anomalous game where my opponent had all 4 lightning bolts. Having lightning bolts, like lightning rods in your deck isn't the worst exchange. Especially ones that, like, your opponent has to, like, leave up mana to answer. They can't just expect to, like, okay, I don't need to worry about their thing until my next turn if you're just holding up 2 mana. Alright, this hand is a hand. It's pretty decent. Shaky mana. My opponent's going to 5. We have, like, Felia White Orchid potentially, which could start getting Stone Rains, but that involves having 2 creatures active at all time, like at any point in this game. But we do also have Caracas, notably, to protect the Felia, which is really nice. Potentially have Vial if it resolves. I think I am, unless I, like, draw another fetch, I'm probably going to lead Caracas here. Don't really know if I need to fetch Black Source or Basic. I almost just want to Solitude this versus a Mull to 3. Or Mull to 5. Versus them having 3 cards left in hand. I hope they have a Daze. I think it would probably just be Solitude pitch White Orchid Phantom, keep the Recruiter around because it also is really good with the Felia and it's extra insurance to, like, a Murktide region. I think I am going to kill this DRC. Maybe I'm supposed to lead Leyline or lead Vial first, because if they have Daze, they never hold it. So they would always Daze the Vial, and so that they would never Daze the Solitude. But, like, there's a chance they would force the Vial. And then the Solitude would resolve past the force. Unless my opponent's, like, a genius and doesn't Daze the Vial and then dazes the Solitude after, that would be the only punish. Sure. No Cantrip is nice. No Cantrip, no Bauble is nice for me. They pitch anything to force a 3 cards and it is a win. I mean, that is true, yeah, but potentially, like, the ways you lose these games are DRCs getting out of hand. Now do we Solitude it again versus 2 cards in hand? I'm erring on no. I don't want to Solitude this second one. We could just Solitude pitch the Felia now. Bank on these Vials getting me across the finish line. What is my opponent's hand? That they didn't cast a cantrip. Could easily just be a Brainstorm. Could be removal spells. Could be Murktide Regent. I think they likely would have seeked the Beast rather than Dragon's Rage Channeling on this turn if they had it. Could be Brazen Borrower. Could be Meltdown. Very bad for my Aether Vials. I don't even know if Meltdown's a card or Delver boards inverse D&T nowadays. I think I'm just gonna do this. Meltdown's like a pretty bad card, but it is really, really good versus Aether Vial specifically. Or I guess really necessary versus Aether Vial games. So like maybe it's fine enough to bring in and you can Brainstorm it away. Or cast it for no value into your Dragon's Rage Channeler. It'll be really good for them here if they have it. Brainstorm's a card that makes sense. You wouldn't want to just fire off the Brainstorm when you have the fetch land here. You want to get max value. Green card, Force of Vigor. I think I would be okay with that. I would feel pretty ahead there. Although I guess there's a chance we just like miss on lands and then die after that. That's a good one for them. You put a card on top too that they're milling. Okay, it's not Delirium. That's good for me. I kind of expected to see a creature or a sorcery there. I feel like you wanted to... If this was the play, then wouldn't you fetch first? See a fresh card? Try to hit Delirium there? Oh, they just had Ponder, sure. They don't need to hit Delirium. Now do I Solitude this thing? It's going to be a 3/3 now. We could just Solitude it. We're safe from a Murktide for a few turns. We get to Recruiter. I don't hate. I think I like Solituding this. I don't like the Felly here at this point. We have Double Vial going. Let them get like 2 Surveils here or something. 3 Surveils maybe, but... Not super excited about taking 3. Fetch Surveil first. That plays into Daze, though. So I don't really want to do that. I did briefly think about that, though, yeah. Would be nice to work with a little bit more information if we're, like, drawing a Plow or a Skyclave or something. But then, if your Solitude gets Dazed, then you feel like an idiot. Sure, they look at my top card. My top card does not matter because I'm going to shuffle it away. I'm going to get Surveil Land here. Do I keep land on the top, though? Fuck. My opponent missed their turn 3 land drop, right? I feel like I'm supposed to Wasteland them here. It's their turn 3. They have not cast a Daze. They just didn't play their land, right? Yeah. Because they went turn 2, DRC land. Yeah. We're hitting them. There are certainly punishes that exist in this world if we Wasteland them, but yeah, I think that Wasteland them is really good here on average. Potentially delays like Murktide Regent coming down is a big incentive to do this. The longer you can delay that card so I can get set up with like Recruiter stuff, the better for me. There's also a chance that we just never see a land drop for the next 3 turns. We never had Yori into our hand, but fairly unlikely, all things considered. We could also like recruit a land drop if we really need it. Okay, fair enough. Delay the Meltdown Blowout. I was trying to not summon that card into existence. Do I Bowmaster this? It's a little risky to Bowmaster this, because if my opponent has Murktide in hand, we could get killed. You just draw like Solitude or Plow and feel a lot better about Murk. Not quite. not quite those cards that I wanted. It says Merc if I have 4 more lands in play, or a Stoneforge and another land in play. That is to say, it doesn't really answer Merc. It is really bad for me if they just cast Murktide Regent, but I'm at 19. I think I can afford to sit back a little bit. By the time Merc comes down, they could just like draw a land, and then Murktide comes down as a 5/5, right? And then what do? I have 3 1/1s, and they have a 5/5 flyer, and I have 1 land. They don't. Yeah, we know they don't have a land, but like just fade is kind of a brave plan. I'm trying to break down how we lose this game, and I think we lose this game if we just recruit Bowmaster and Bowmaster the Delver, and then they go land Murktide 5/5, and then we miss on land drops for a couple turns, then die. This is game 2, yes. I think this is just better if I just wait a turn, and I could, if they tap out, I could like recruit Felia. If they don't tap out, I can, I don't know, recruit like 3 drops and just play like with vials on 2 vials on 3 for a while. I think I'm better off just saying go here. If they put a Brainstorm on the stack, maybe we recruit Bowmaster. But I don't think... I think with myself at 19 life, I can afford to take some hits from this Delver and continuously plan for some worst-case scenarios. Well, I'm not really casting a lot of spells this game anyway, so that's fine. If they put a Brainstorm on the stack, we recruit the shit out of Bowmaster. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If they just attack me for 3, I think I just recruit... Recruiter? Faded a land. That is true, but there's no way to know that in time for me Bowmastering as well. If they cast Ponder here, would I Bowmaster then? Because I can still kill that Aberration. But I can just Recruiter, leave 2 vials on 3, have like recruit for like Wisp or Skyclave. I feel much better about my position at that point. If they tap out, we can recruit Felia, put in Felia, flicker the Recruiter, go get like Flicker Wisp or whatever. And there's not any 2s I really want to put into play here though, huh? Could go get White Orchid Phantom. They would have shoved land. Yeah, well, we know they don't have the land because they drew the Force. Yeah, this is fine. No tap out. They did have the Brainstorm. Fun. Wait, why would you do this? I have a vial on 2. Wouldn't you, like, wait until I have Recruiter Trigger on the stack or something first, at least? Oh, they tapped out, though. Now we can just go get Felia. Hell yeah. I guess I tick up these... Maybe I leave these vials on 2 and 3 for a little bit. I'm pretty far away from Yorion. There's like only 6 5s in my deck now. I've used 2 Solitudes already. I don't really want 3/3 because I'm only getting like 1 Recruiter trigger per turn. I guess that's not necessarily true. I could recruit Wisp here. And then end step Wisp the Recruiter. And then Recruiter comes back and I get another 3. It's probably like another Recruiter or another Wisp. Yeah, maybe we do 3/3. Like I said, I don't really want any of my 2s. Oh shit, that's a good one to draw too. Witch Enchanter? I could, but we still don't have the third land. I could even get Boggart Trawlers, exile their graveyard if I'm scared of Murk. Start getting to the blade. It's a lot of work. I'm not even that scared of Murk now anymore, though. I have, like, Recruiter for, like, Wisps and stuff now. I do kind of want to Boggart Trawler them, though, huh? It's kind of nice. 3 cards in hand. Kind of tempting. Yeah. Second Recruiter in hand makes this nicer, I think. They cast Brainstorm, so the likelihood of them having another land is like fairly high, and if it's not, then we just win, because the Brainstorm locked on 1 land. Get Fulminator Mage, the dream. Is he gonna miss? Is he Brainstorm locked? Is he just dead? Wow, actually just dead, huh? Skyclave? Skyclave all of his shit? It's Bowmasters? No, I can't do anything. I have double 3s here. Wisp. Attack all. Flicker Recruiter. Whisper Recruiter. That's probably better. And then get a Skyclave. Alright, I think all roads lead to Rome now. Yeah, just gives up. Fair enough. Just playing with my food a little bit. Trawler flickers to Trawler, not land. Yeah. If I could flicker the Trawler to the land side, that'd be kind of sick. Although it's also kind of nice that you can flicker the Trawler to the Trawler side in some matchups. Yeah, you can play land and flicker the Trawler. Comes up more with Witch Enchanter. But I have in my life before done Wasteland my own Trawler land, activate Stoneforge Mystic, form a Warback, and Trawler to exile graveyard. Which is a pretty sick line. Oh, the 7th player dropped? Because they don't want to play for, like, the pity points or whatever. Although, no, you get, like, pity QPs even at 2/2, so I don't know. Maybe just wanted to go to bed. I think Silent Goat's on the East Coast, so it's pretty late for him. Not worth the 10 play points to keep playing. Eureka, leave me alone. I just want to 3-1 a prelim in peace. Don't queue into me. Play against one of the other players. Yeah, I might have even gotten the bye at 1 and 2. Remember that comment I made about the debate between wanting the Prelim to fire and not wanting to play versus D&T 3 times in a row? What were your other matches? Jared at MC. Is MC on D&T? I don't want to play a D&T mirror at 11 p.m. I don't want to hear it chat. Last seen on Blueback Reanimator? Really? Is this Goldfish fucking up, or did Eureka 5-0 with Reanimator? He's on Storm. I'm not gonna get baited by fucking Goldfish. That link didn't even take me anywhere. What am I mulliganing for in this matchup, though? I have no Thalias in my deck. It's just, like, mulligan for Thoughtseize. I have Wasteland and Aether Vial. Is that good enough? No, but I should probably just keep whatever hand and get on with it, huh? I could mulligan to Thoughtseize and lose. I also kind of thought we lost the die roll, and none of my decisions mattered, but looks like we actually won the die roll. Maybe he exact tendrils as me and gets got by double solitude. Although if I'm playing around that, I probably wanted to play the Wasteland file, huh? Because now I can only beat 10 drills, not 11 drills. Eureka, what the fuck? Really? This is what you're gonna bring to the prelim? We're creative techniquing? Eureka, this is straight up disrespectful. Have some integrity for the game. Or is it Ruby? Ruby doesn't play Dwarven Ruins. This is just creative technique. Bruh into Wasteland. Eureka playing some powerful lands here, yeah. I'll play this to surveil. Maybe holding a progress is better versus Maelstrom Wanderer Haste? I don't want to think about that. I'll just surveil. Not dead yet. We'll just die next turn. Maybe we'll draw another Wasteland? I can't believe. Oh, that's what Harina was talking about, or what Yuri was talking about when he was talking about why his like match was so funny, but he didn't want to spoil the surprise. That he was playing fucking creative technique. Dog, please get down from the desk. Your reaction was when I was ready for the pairing. Chat loves to watch the streamer suffer. Is this Beseiju, Float, Beseiju, Cascade? Yeah. Please, for the love of God, hit trickery with your trickery. If there's any justice in this world, you're gonna hit a trickery off this trickery. You son of a bitch. Oh no, it's Milled Emrakul. Well, I mean, it's Apex Devastator, which is probably worse than hitting Emrakul. Yeah, I could have beat an Emrakul cast there. I can't beat 4 Cascades. Well, let's just let him do his thing. You just demonstrate these for BM. Yeah. It lets you say yes to that, and then you don't have any creature. We didn't even hit a creature off of our Overlord. Come on. At least we have like Mindbreak Trap and Deafening Silence, which aren't nothing in this matchup. We have at least a tiny bit of hate. We'll let the fireworks go. What does this one do? It has Cascade twice. That's the only important text. Deals damage to each creature your opponent's control equal to the number of total mana value of other spells cast this turn. So it's gonna deal like 8 billion damage to my entire board. Doesn't kill my Cauldron. Yeah, I'll cast it. Fuck it. You can't stop me. Flute, oh, that is true. Flute very good in this matchup too. We've got some tools to mulligan to. All right, we're cooking. We're cooking for the post-board games. We got Mindbreak Trap, Deafening Silence, Flute. We have some options. I'm lagging. We're gonna time you out, Eureka. I'm making you do this whole thing. I'm not conceding until my life total is 0. Or, more likely, negative 400. You best believe I'm gonna Solitude that Emrakul. 68 damage. Oh, we're so close! Damn. Eureka, you gotta to cast one more CMC's worth. Ugh. He's picking up the pace. He's not gonna time out. How many... Chat, any guesses on final tally of cards revealed? Currently at 207. There's still 2 more Cascades on the stack. 4 more Cascades on the stack. I'm saying 319. I might have undershot. No, we're gonna get way more than that because he's gonna start revealing his whole deck because he can't hit anything off of these like Violent Outbursts. It's probably gonna like 412 or something. 754. Oh, I should do the Playpoint giveaway, huh? Let's do the Playpoint giveaway right now. How's that sound, chat? We'll give away Playpoints while this is happening. Does that sound fun? Give chat something to do. What if Mike wins the giveaway? Then we roll it again. This is truly dreadful. It's even worse in paper, yeah. Just even harder. Alright. Exclamation point, giveaway. Eureka sucks. We're giving away 120 play points. You just gotta type Eureka sucks in the chat. Oh, that's last. Oh, hang on. I gotta turn off auto yields here. We're almost there. Oh, no, never mind. 2 more Cascades. Not typing it. If you win, you almost get back the entry you made spend making this prelim fire. Was it even worth it? Was it worth it if this is... How does this deck win exactly? Because as it stands, we're like actually still alive? Right? Am I wrong? I'm gonna Caracas and Emrakul and then Solitude these 2 creatures, and then he has 2 Apex Devastators left, and then we have just a Cauldron to block? Oh, you have 5 turns. Yeah, fair enough. You just attack me. If Cauldron was untapped, could you win here? Maybe he finds the 4th Devastator. We can chump block with Skyclave, man. That's not gonna do enough. These things have trample. What is this? What does the outburst do? I always forget. Is it just +1/+0 and like something? Cauldron only has 530. It's 359 damage. I feel like if I have an untapped Cauldron and like a Solitude and a Caracas or something, I'm not confident this deck can win. Maybe I'm a little bit off base with that math. But like if you answer the Wanderer and the Emrakul, and then you just have like an infinite blocker. Maybe this is like a very niche. This is probably a niche corner case. Yeah, extra turns, but like if you can survive like an attack and you just block with Cauldron. I guess maybe if you hit enough Carnosaurs in addition to Apex Devastators. It just depends a little bit on the roulette. Hey, Garmin Bozia, thanks for the follow, appreciated. Don't forget, everyone in chat, type Eureka sucks. We're getting, I'll call it at the end here, I guess. $615 damage on the Cauldron, correct. And then it resolves. This garbage is not back. Eureka's just memeing for the prelim. Alright. Oh, yeah, I didn't play around the Tybalt's trickery. What a fool! This is, like, kind of fine, actually. Oh, could have been fine if I hit not Aether Vial. Yeah, like, I actually, with an untapped Cauldron here, I would win the game. Assuming I played around Tybalt's trickery, I would just win the game with untapped Cauldron. Which is really funny. How many cards did Eureka reveal? 503 final total. But yeah, I think this end case is like extremely niche in terms of like setting up a way that you can actually beat your opponent's creatures. Something to think about, I guess. Hey, kitty, get out of here. Get. I guess we just board like this. Does this look okay? I guess Skyclave has 0 targets too, huh? Don't mold a good cards, thanks. We can just both keep 7, huh? Skyclave has no text. Bowmasters is a 2-drop, so it pressures faster. Is probably a very real use case. I guess Plow is also very bad, huh? Is it just this? Is this the strat? I don't think the Solitude Plow have Cauldron up to beat 4 extra turns and a 10/10 is like a very realistic actual plan. This is probably just this. Skyclave is a 2/2 that attacks. I'll have 4 Masaju, I'll just have them. Alright, let's end the giveaway, huh? Giveaway. Matman wins the 120 play points. Congrats. Rigged because Eureka didn't win, yes. We named last week's poll after Bob, and then Bob won, so who knows? Make sure I gave the right one away. If I take too long, I won't submit my list, and then I'll just lose game 2. Nope. It looks like it didn't send, maybe? Mattman, can you confirm? Seems pretty terrible. On Moto or here? It should be a Twitch DM, Twitch Whisper. Seems also pretty terrible. Yeah, it should just be a code. I usually just send them via Twitch Whisper, then you enter it into Moto later. Seems pretty bad. Actually, no Whisper. Let me try again. Looks like I maybe can't whisper you. Do you have any other form of contact? I'm hitting enter and then my message is vanishing into the aether. Haven't seen that happen before. Put it in chat. Let's see who's fastest. I mean, if that's what you want to do with the play points, they are your play points. I think I keep this in bottom. Maybe we keep file in bottom. No, we need all of these 4 cards. Can I whisper? Yeah, try to whisper me. See if that. Maybe you have to contact me first. Maybe you have something like some setting that like random people can't whisper you. Or something. We would need all of these cards and then this, but the wastelands are much worse without the vial going. If this was a 6, I would keep it. I mean, I'm still keeping this, but I'm just trying to parse how to utilize it. It might just be keep this, but then, no, we just can't ever Overlord, because we're just going to have to use all the wastelands? Is it just keep this? And just hope that the Felly does something else later? And hope that double wasteland gets me there? Feels so off. I feel like I'd rather keep an Overlord and then try to spike a black source off the top later. Rather than keep a colored source when I have an Aether Vial and I don't really need to cast any colored spells. Did you see my whisper? I didn't. Maybe I need to refresh this. Probably not. I end a soft wasteland, I promise. You seem like a trustworthy individual, Eureka. I mean, you are on 5 cards. Your hand, like, literally has to be soft to wasteland. Hang on. We're troubleshooting this, this attempt to give you, Oh, I see your message now. There we go. I think I just needed to refresh. Just find Felia off Overlord. Genius. Definitely put this back, and then I think I decided this is what I want to do. I'm going to go turn 1, Wasteland, Vial, turn 2, Wasteland, hope to draw something, hope to maybe draw, like, land into land for Overlord or something like that. I think this is the keep. Worst day of my life now. I can't complain. I've never won anything. Unlucky. I had that for a while where I had like never actually gotten a buy on Moto for like years and years. It was such good complaint equity. Look, he'll never think that I don't have the second wasteland. I'm gonna fetch Swamp here. Again, we're not casting anything. I might even just be flickering the second vial every turn instead of ticking it up just to beef up the Felia. just draw a third Wasteland, huh? Chat seems reasonable. Yeah, I mean, Eureka's we're having fun in chat. Eureka's a nice guy. He was also in chat earlier. Also, probably right now. Say hi, Eureka. I think I'm just flickering this Aether Vial. Land, yeah, land would have been pretty good. That's kind of what we were banking on with this decision to keep. But we're also just gonna like run this vial up to 5, probably. Is he just gonna like Mossfire Valley kill me here? I'm really salty about it. God damn it. Please hit a Tybalt's Trickery off your Tybalt's Trickery. No, he didn't. He hit a Call Forth the Tempest, huh? Two Trickery in hand, how do I fail? Hit throws. Just hit a bunch of throws, please. Never mind. We did. Alright, I said I was going to make him play it out, but also I want to go to bed, so I lied. We are just dead here, right? Not dead. Draw Solitude. Probably win the game, right? As soon as he hits a second creature, we die. But no, he can't hit a second creature, right? He's done. He's out of Tybalt's Trickeries. We'll just draw Solitude. It's Justice, right? I have a turn and Trickery to counter a thing. Oh, you have a Trickery in hand. Well, you can't activate a Trickery here. Not with those lands, you can't. Or you can't cast a Trickery. We'll draw Solitude. There's Justice in the world. Fuck. Alright, we tried. We could also draw Crocus, actually. That was, like, actual 8-outer. But likely chance that he just draws into the ability to cast a random, like, fucking retrace the Throes of Chaos and then Trickery it before we draw, like, 2 more lands and try to win that game. But we'll just complain about Eureka being a noob blocker instead. Get out of here. Anyway, time for bed. Yeah, pretty good deck, honestly. What did we lose to besides nonsense? I already forgot what we lost to. We beat Moonstompy and we beat Delver, which is like literally the top decks of the format that I was talking about. And then we lost to Eureka. Oh yeah, we lost to Doomsday. Like, that's like the exact expected D&T matchup spread. So not really anything groundbreaking, unfortunately. Overlord of the Baelmerk was really good against Moonstompy, which I do think it just genuinely is. Like, even the game where we, like, missed our Black Source for 2 turns or whatever versus Moonstompy, the threat of, like, end-step failure untap Overlord is just, like, so backbreaking versus decks like Moonstompy especially, where they struggle to interact with that stuff. So it does make sense that this deck lines up pretty nicely versus Moonstompy. Although the Black Splash is a little bit weaker to Blood Moon effects than the Red Splash is, so... A little hard to say, but the Black Splash is definitely more resilient towards, like, the cavalcade of Furies and removal spells and stuff if you have, like, these bigger value engine pieces. I'm not actually confident which variant is like, more... I would rather be on versus Moonstompy between black and red. Huh. Some food for thought, I guess. They both have some pretty reasonable strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if Harian's going to be on longer than me or if he's just going to stop streaming after the prelim, but we're just going to go raid him. Hey, Hooch Bazooka, thanks for the resub. Appreciated. 20 months. Jeez. Much appreciated. Anyway. Thanks, everybody, for coming and hanging out. I had a great time. It was very mentally cleansing to come and just enjoy my natural habitat, play Legacy, play D&T. He has me open? Are you gonna... Go away. I was gonna raid him. I don't know, he just has my stream open between rounds or whatever. Alright. Let me ask if he's streaming more after this, actually, before I... Oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna hit the raid button. I'm way too lazy to do this. It's 11:30. Anyway, forgot if I was saying in the middle of saying something, but if I was, it's fine. I'll be back next week with some more not standard, because I don't want to fucking play standard for a little bit. See you guys all next time.